We're live?
We are, yes.
I never know. Sometimes I don't get to say it. Sometimes I do. Like, we've been all over the place lately.
Yes, but we are live, the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast, coming at you on a Thursday once again, unless you're not watching this live, and then we're coming at you any day of the week. But we, as of now, it is Thursday, December 12th, at least here in America.
America!
I'm not
It's
sure.
Friday here. Got to get down on Friday. Everybody looking forward to the weekend.
I am looking forward to the weekend, actually. But before we get there, we got tonight, and we're going to talk some wrestling. We're going to talk some news. We're going to rank the WWE PLEs as they have been come to know. Well, I don't know what I just said. Pez is here. Pez, how's it going?
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't do my ranking of these like 20 minutes ago. I definitely took my time and researched this.
Let me beat you. And let me just paste. And all right, just finished.
I definitely didn't reorder it 10 minutes ago when Jacob told us WrestleMania would be two separate things. So I definitely didn't then reorder it after that all over again. No, I'm ready to go. I was plenty.
You might be more prepared than I am. That might be cool.
It's going to sound like I'm the bad guy that made him retool his list. However, it was the three of us that are the bad guys that made him.
Y'all could have said no. It's all one event, but you know, whatever.
I agree with JPO that they're two. Technically, I mean, it doesn't.
I also, especially this year with Triple H's 4 or 5 match shows, I found it very hard to compare 14 matches to 4. You know what I mean? Like, so because they're 2 separate nights. Like, and I also, if you look at a lot of like top 10s, top 20s, or even WrestleMania in general, they break it down now. Usually it is like number 5, Mania 38, part 2, number 4. You know what I mean? Like, they usually, a lot of lists that I've seen have also broken it down.
Yeah. That's what we'll be getting into later in the show. Richie, D.I. who?
Why? Because another week.
DIY. I like it.
Another week, another heel turn for a fucking beloved tag team. Anyway, yes, I'm here. All right, there you go. Good to be here. But yes, DIY are the new tag team champions of the world. They're throwing Medicine Machine Guns quite early. I thought they were going to have a longer run, but hey.
They didn't even get a chance to defend them on a PLE at all.
Nobody will. Nobody ever will unless it's a Mania.
Ever.
At this rate.
Ever. Yeah.
I mean, it sets up a program between the two, which I'm sure they have great matches. The match on SmackDown was good, but I want those matches to be on pay-per-view, damn it, or PLE. Sorry.
Couldn't they have at least done that match on Saturday night's main event? It's not a PLE. They could have done it on there.
They could have done that on there.
They could have done that on there. Like, that's not that. Why not?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Is that match going to be like? Is that show going to be like a 5-match card?
It's looking like a 5-match card. Yeah, it's a 5er for JPO. So he can continue the streak of nope, 5 and done. We are finished at 5. That's what it looks like. Yeah, as far as I'm looking at the Wikipedia, and that's the 5 as of right now. Unless they add something last minute,
which is not bad because I always thought those were like Saturday Night Live. I thought they were only an hour and a half, so I was expecting less matches. To be honest with you.
Yeah. So it looks like some of them are not going to get that long because it's only a 2-hour special, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the matches can't have super long times or at least super much downtime in between like the PLEs do.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like Peacock. I mean, as long as you don't do too much, I think each of them can have enough. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, just cut down on the ads in between matches.
Mm-hmm.
Although something happened that I thought they were just going to build towards later, but they just ended up changing it. But it's going to be a triple threat now for the championship as opposed to just Gunther and Finn Balor.
Well, I think we can just talk about the whole thing properly when we get to the news. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We haven't even introduced JPO lit. Hey, JPO.
Hey, JPO. Hello, how are you going, JPO?
We're still in intros. Yeah. No, hey, doing fine. Happy to be here again, talking to you, Lonely Marks. Except for fucking Pez over here dating people. Bullshit. But yeah, no, it's always fun to be here. Yeah.
I'm happy with life.
It's fun to see where the rankings are. This was an odd one to rank because, like, and I guess we'll get into it when we get into it, but, like, I don't hate any of these, so they're kind of interesting to,
right. Yeah,
I could really flip flop a lot of these.
Yeah, they were at least watchable. Yeah, it wasn't like we thought there'd be one like going back like one stinker where you're just like that's the obvious number 12,
No
13,
stinker. There
whatever.
might
It's
have been
like
one or
no,
two where I'm like,
yeah.
that's kind of a B pay-per-view, but no, like fuck that. Like nothing Russo era, like where we're like, oh my god, don't ever make me watch that again. Like they're all okay, if not really good.
Yeah. Hey, Jacob Barber's here. What's going on, Jacob? How are you, sir?
Jacob,
Him and his Christmas sweater are here.
Hey, so yeah, we're 2 weeks away from Christmas. Well, 13 days, 12 if you're Richie. But yeah, it's Christmas time and it's Santa Skellington. I'm here. I'm excited to talk some news. Talk some Saturday night's main event. We'll get into that as well, and then rank these PLEs. So. Should we kind of start with the other? Yeah, it's not we're not exactly doing predictions for it, but they are bringing back Saturday night's main event, and it will be airing this Saturday. Is it 8 Eastern?
8 Eastern, I believe. Yeah.
Show my screen.
Yeah. Oh, he's there. You go. Run it down, JP. There you
I
go.
didn't say these. Those right off the WWE.com website.
Oh.
8 o'clock Eastern, 5 specific here. You see 4 of the main matches. Going through defensive title against both Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Liv Morgan defending against Io Sky. Cody defending against Kevin Owens. So 3 big title matches. Plus, let's see. We're going to have the finals of the U.S. Women's title tournament. Bayley or Chelsea Green versus Michin or Tiffany Stratton. And then let's see what else was left off here. Oh, the Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre is also somewhere on the show. So pretty good, actually. I'm kind of very intrigued by this.
Yeah, that's they're giving them doing the 2 top titles, on one show makes it kind of a big deal, at least, even if
I figured it was just going to be Cody because he was left off of a series, but yeah.
Can't say Gunther's not a fighting champion.
Yeah, he's defending it a lot. Yeah.
No, I mean, I figured they're kind of like what I'm sure they'll do with Raw to a degree, like pulling out some decent stops here to hopefully get eyes on the product. Because again, these first couple are going to really determine, if NBC's back in or if it's just going to be done again like the last time. I don't know how many times they did return last time, but I felt like their last run was kind of short,
And the last one was in 2008.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they also have streaming this time, so it's not just people watching on NBC. Like I saw it on the Peacock schedule when I pulled up Peacock today. And then obviously you can watch the replay. So I mean, I think the streaming numbers will be fairly good for it, much like the PLE.
I hope so. Yeah. And the last set was only 5. They stopped in 92, and then they would resume in 06. But again, only for 5 of them. So as long as the ratings are there, hopefully this becomes a. Technically it's going to be monthly at this point, but bi-monthly, tri-monthly thing because they are doing one in January. It sounds like.
Yeah, January 25th. Yeah, so that'll be kind of the one thing we get in. Yeah, the one thing we get in between that and the Rumble. So it's a week before the Rumble, so we'll see kind of like what they actually do with that.
That's an interesting setup. I figured they were going to go more mid-January, like like a month from now, basically, like January 13th. But it's only a few. Yeah, like you said, it's only about a week. So interesting.
Well, if they have any matches, I would think it might be any matches that they can't get on the Rumble card because last year, if you remember, the Rumble card was just the 2 Rumbles and 2 other matches. It was 4 matches. So, like, if there's any other feuds that need like a blow off, you do it on Saturday night's main event. You figure,
and sometimes sometimes the Rumble, because most of the important people in the Rumble, sometimes you get your people who don't usually get the opportunity. Remember Brock Lesnar and Hardcore Holly? Hardcore Holly probably got his title shot.
And that's true too. And that's also a good point to make is that somebody in the Rumble can now have a singles match on SNME. You know what I mean? If Punk's entering the Rumble, but we want to do, Punk versus whatever, an Uso for whatever reason, or something. We can do that now. We can kind of double dip the Rumble people.
Yeah, I'm skeptical about this as far as being the whole show. I'm thinking like a match or 2 for Jesse Ventura.
I'm thinking Jim Ross style. Bring him out to that main event. Maybe
they bring him out for Cody and Kevin. Maybe to do a little guest commentary. Maybe
even that interview, the guy doesn't seem like he's like gung ho and like exciting. So I was surprised when they announced it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Have you seen interviews with Jesse? I don't think he is. I think it's just him now. He doesn't seem like in the Chris Van Vliet interview, he did a Chris Van Vliet interview. He didn't seem excited, even when like Karrion Kross was there doing an impression. He's like, "Oh, that's
He's like, you can see Chris all excited, like, how was that? And just he's like, yeah, it was something. All right, cool.
And then Will Sasso did it on the phone. He's like, yeah, that was alright.
Who was that?
I not to brag. I mean, I kind of got it. Like I didn't think it was going to be turned into a triple threat main event, but I thought they were going towards a triple threat at some point. So it makes sense to maybe put it on this show because, I did realize after a while, like there is a lot. If they didn't do it on this show, there's a lot of weeks to go before Royal Rumble. So I don't know how much filler you could have to build towards a triple threat. So it makes sense to be on the show.
They're already advertising,
January 25th. Yeah,
tickets on sale already. Evidently for sale.
Scroll. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Scroll back up a little bit. I wanted to see if any of you guys had seen this this video. Go back up a little bit more. I think it was the first thing they posted. A little bit more. little bit more. A little bit more.
Ultimate Warrior Andre the Giant.
One more right there.
Oh, okay.
Right there. If you haven't
the
seen
little
that video,
opening of the thing, like the Pulp Fiction thing.
Yeah. It appears I wouldn't play it, just because.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Last time we played a WWE related thing, we had.
Truth.
I thought we'd be okay. It was short. But yeah, no, he one night only. There's a lot of people speculating that it's the Winged Eagle championship, which I think would be cool. So that I just thought that was interesting that they're bringing it back for one night. I kind of wish like if you're gonna.
Somebody made a joke on Twitter though that he opened it up and they showed a picture of the Stardust outfit. That was what was glowing. So Stardust gloves and
one night only.
Yeah, Stardust versus Kevin Owens. So that's what was glowing out of the thing.
Then we'll get a rematch on SmackDown. It'll be Stardust versus Shorty G.
It'd be a bit of a troll job if it turned out to be the spinner belt. I'm like, okay.
It's a 24/7 title.
And John Cena comes back. Starts his retirement tour.
Although, a lot of people said like, so he's got to win now. He's not like he's not going to hold that up after the match. That would be kind of cool though if he lost. And I was like, not it.
And it'd be such a heel thing if like Kevin Owens just like wins and just like drops it and like I don't know, or just like I don't know. It'd be a heel thing if he just throw the trash to the Eagle belt and just
he breaks it, smashes the blade. That's also kind of funny. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then we get a new hardcore title.
Yeah, one that's not made out of garbage. Yeah.
But no, yeah, that'll be Saturday. Obviously, Saturday night's main event. It's looking like a good show. I mean, I think it could. Yeah. Given what's on the card, it could potentially rival some of the actual premium live events. I think it's going to be good. So, another thing that I saw earlier today that I just want to hit on real quick and get your guys' thoughts on it. Logan Paul on his podcast, when asked about wrestling, said, "I'm retired. I'm a dad now." But apparently, whenever he was talking about wrestling, he was talking about being part of WWE in like the present tense. So is he just trying to like throw people off? So when he does return, it's more of a surprise, or do you think he's like legit taking some time off because he's got a kid now? I'm leaning towards he's just saying that. So when he does return, it'll be a surprise. But who knows? Some people, when they become dads, they take it seriously and just go all in.
The actual question they asked him, like I think they asked him, was like, "Are you going to be at WrestleMania 41?" He goes, "No, I'm retired. I'm a dad now." So like, look, he's not going to say, he's not going to give it away and be like, "Yeah, I'm going to be at WrestleMania 41." He's not going to give that nugget of information away to someone, to a journalist. So it's like, yeah. So he's going to throw.
Say you're retired.
Huh?
To say you're retired, though.
I know, but it throws people off the scent. So if he does come back, it's like, oh, it's a surprise.
Yeah, but who in wrestling is ever really retired?
Especially at 29.
Unless there's a legit
reason.
I'm 90-10, and this is just bullshit. Him talking because I've heard him talk since he's had the kid. Unless this is a new revelation, he's talked about coming back after that kid was born. So now I think it's just kind of hyperbole to where he does pop up. He'll, it'll be more of a surprise and whatnot. So now I think we'll see him back. You still got to make money. Prime's not going to pay all the bills.
But if you're the office, right, you're not going to be happy with him. If he's like, yeah, I'm going to come back at WrestleMania 41, sure. Yeah, that's going to be my.
I could see him taking some time off. Like I could even see him potentially missing Mania. Like I could believe that possibly. But
yeah, but I mean like revealing that if he was coming back at WrestleMania 41, just to actually reveal that.
Oh yeah. No, we live in the realm. Like, I mean, for instance, I don't know if we're going to probably get to it later, but like, Bronson Reed unfortunately got hurt, saying he's going to miss Mania. Even that I take with a grain of salt sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? I could see him being like, doctor, like, all right, you got 2 months. Tell everyone it's 6. So that way when you return, it's a surprise. Like, that's the world we live in. And he could be telling 100% the truth, but you just never know anymore. You know what I mean? Like, people hyper.
They said John Cena was going to be out for 9 months, and then he came back after 3. Like it was, it is. You never know with wrestling.
And I even kind of believe that might have been organic, and that might have been one of the tipping points of like, oh, look how much of a pop he got. Let's do that all the time. You know what I mean? Like, let's always say, you know what I mean? Like Jericho had a good one time when he was like, guys, I'm not in the Rumble. Literally, look at my dates. I'm the night before. I would have to catch a midnight flight, and of course, he makes the Rumble. You know what I mean? Like, vehemently denied the night before, and then.
Oh, how about the Hardys at WrestleMania doing a ladder match at Ring of Honor the night before WrestleMania, and then showing up at WrestleMania?
Doing the ladder match. They were doing an afternoon show. They were down the street Sunday afternoon at FIP. So, and they were like, no, guys, come on. If we were at Mania, we wouldn't be able to do the FIP show. And, you know what I mean? We're going to be beat up because they had a tough weekend. They fought Pentagon and Phoenix that I personally saw on Friday, the Young Bucks on Saturday. FIP, I think, was just a meet and greet, but still they were out all afternoon, Sunday afternoon. And then ladder match Sunday for WWE.
Busy weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of
I was mad at Drew McIntyre. I was talking about booking Drew McIntyre like the week of him getting signed. I was like, why did he waste my time? Did he not know? Asshole.
At least you're getting top dollar now. Hopefully.
I have news about him later.
About who?
There's top dollar news I have.
What is it?
Well, hold on. Okay, well, share my screen.
Okay. Once it pops up, I will.
I know, I gotta find it. Well, you guys threw me off. I don't know we're there yet.
Oh, well, you're finding that. Yeah, Richie.
I found it.
Oh, never mind. Just kidding.
I just needed 2 seconds. TNA is back on pay-per-view over their TNA Plus app. Final Resolution is Friday. The pre-show's at 7:30, main show at 8 o'clock. We got JDC, the former Fandango, taking on Leon Slater. Jonathan Gresham versus Frankie Kazarian, who has kind of like a Money in the Bank trophy, so always keep that in mind. The Rascals taking on Jake Something and Hammerstone and PCO and Sammy Callahan in triple threat tag team action. Ace Austin versus Trent Seven. Jordan Grace versus Rosemary. Moose defends the X Division title against Kushida. We got the Hardys defending the tag team championships against the System. That's Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. Winner gets a TNA World title shot at the January pay-per-view, which is Genesis. That looks like it's a 4-way between Josh Alexander, Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, and Steve Macklin. We got the TNA Knockouts Championship. Tasha Steelz versus Masha Slamovich, your reigning and defending champion. And then finally, we have the world title on the line. Nick Nemeth defends against, Top Dollar, AJ Francis in your main event of the night, which means, hold on, folks. Stop staring my screen and now share my screen.
Okay.
If Top Dollar wins the title, he will be bringing the TNA World title to Real Pro Wrestling Friday, January the 10th. So my money is on you, AJ. Bring that title so you can defend it on our show. That's a great luck if we have that happen to luck out like that. So come on, win it so I get a TNA World Titles match on my show.
How pissed off would you be if you accidentally left it in the hotel room?
No, go back, motherfucker. What do you
Send somebody to go back and get it. Where's the room key?
So he's a Florida guy. Actually, if he leaves it in Tampa, like 2.5 hours away. So we're really screwed if he forgets it. Yeah. Not to pull back the curtain too much, but yeah, he's driving.
Well, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I think Nick Nemeth is going to retain.
You suck, Jacob. Why gotta put that bad mojo out there?
I wasn't gonna give an opinion. I wanted him to have the hope. And,
just leave some hope. I'm just saying. At least at the moment I'm able to hype the potential future world champion will be at our show.
Yeah, there's a chance. That
there's always a chance.
Are you saying there's a chance?
There's a chance, maybe. Never know. Maybe Nick Nemeth is like, oh shoot, I gotta go to New Japan for the next 2 months. Quickly, gotta drop it. Never know.
I'm just saying, if AJ Francis, if Top Dollar is the TNA champion before Joe Hendry, I'm gonna be a little sad.
And then he can fight Joe Hendry in January.
JPO Top Dollar winning the TNA title.
I'd buy that for $1.
Hey, buy that for $1 for Top Dollar.
Yeah.
When's right. Genesis? That's after the 10th, I think, right?
Yeah.
In case he wins and loses it right away.
Watch it be the night before and he loses it.
Oh, the 19th. Okay, so no. He'll make it. Okay, if he wins, he'll definitely make it. All right. Unless he loses on Impact or something. No.
On air, you realize, oh, shit, the dates don't match up. And then it's going to have to drop out of your thing. Oh, fuck. No. Anyway.
Richie, apparently you're really hurt by this whole DIY thing.
Look, I've already gone through one beloved tag team turning heel. Well, you could at least have like a space between the two before some other tag team does something dastardly, and then Johnny Gargano, just low blowing. Was it Shelley, and then turning heel, winning the tag titles, and I'm so disappointed because we're going to get great matches out of it. It's really disappointing. No. Look, it's just I don't know. They did this. They went dirty, and they turned on me when they went dirty. I don't think they understood.
Richie has lost his smile like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
I do think they did it really well, though. I think they planted the seeds of a potential split, which is something that we've seen before. No, I mean with DIY themselves, like we saw in NXT, and we wouldn't put it past Ciampa to turn on Gargano again, but this time using it as as a ruse to plant that doubt in everyone's minds, and then Gargano's also turning heel, and we're getting a heel DIY on SmackDown. I think it's going to be good. I understand Richie being upset, but I think it's a nice shift in their character. I think you're getting a nice program between them and the Machine Guns. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, it results in a premium live event match. I don't think it will, or at the very least, a Saturday night's main event.
Put him on that January 25th Saturday night's main event thing.
There you go.
Give him a chance.
That's a perfect spot. Like, ideally, the PLE is the perfect spot, but the way they're booking, that's a perfect spot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, wish they could interject maybe. I don't know. Considering he's his wife, interject Candice LeRae's storyline so much. She's just lost in the shuffle, and she's really good, and she's just there.
She's a Nia Jax goon right now.
I know. But
at least they can hang out now that they're both bad guys.
Yeah, now that they're all heel again, they could easily put her with them, which I think might be kind of cool. More like the way, that we saw in NXT when it was them and Gargano and everybody, or Theory rather. I think this is good, Richie. I'm a big DIY fan. I love Ciampa.
Yeah, I actually think it's good. I'm being it.
No. I'm just saying. No, I do think it's legitimately the best thing for them because they have been lost in the shuffle, kind of for a while now. I mean, even their title reign was kind of whatever. Unfortunately, very kind of lost in the, the shuffle here this past year. So, getting a little more edge of their characters here again. The matches are there. Them and Street Profits, that also sounds pretty dope. Put that on a PLE / SNME. So, yeah.
Well, that was pretty heel
I'm actually happy for it in a weird way. Huh?
the other teasers, I thought they were turning heel, like the Street Profits, but obviously maybe they're not. Because I thought they were turning
maybe
heel.
more of an attitude change, but like not necessarily heel, but not necessarily like squeaky clean fill my cup guys anymore. To piggyback off of TNA, by the way, just looked up. Both that and the TV tapings the next night in Georgia sold out. So kudos to TNA for selling some tickets. That's
I saw something about they're gonna run a pay-per-view at USC in California, like their arena they have there, which is like a 6,000 seat arena out there for basketball. So that's like a pretty good thing. And then they're running some new arena in New York that holds like 19,000 people. Like I don't know if they're gonna like fill that up or if they're gonna set it up, to maybe just do it a little bit smaller.
As long as they're not losing money and they can at least get a few thousand, that's a little kudos.
Yeah, to them. Because you could do one where you close off like the upper, deck and just do the lower deck. And just try to shoot for 10 or something. But yeah, I mean that would be something. I mean, it seems like they're kind of back on the rise again, at least.
Yeah. I'd love to see it.
Maybe they're gonna hint at a big debut. I don't know who's from New York. They could change. they could move numbers. No, I can't think of anybody.
That's where JBL makes his in-ring return.
Bring back Amazing Red. He's still a thing. I don't know. It's the only one that comes to my mind for some weird reason.
Hulk Hogan. Back on TNA. He needs it. He needs it. That's right.
Dreamer's backstage. Dreamer's technically never left, I don't think. he's always there if they want him.
Always there.
Yeah.
Leave him off TV until then.
No, he's not on TV. He's not on TV very often at the moment.
No, yeah.
I don't know what he's
yeah, that's right. There's just like
I think they're just gonna use it as an excuse for SmackDown guys being on Raw on Netflix, and then they got to balance it out, so they're going to bring people over to SmackDown. I think it's just a way
just a one thing.
The perfect word is excuse. It's just so they can have a reason to say, it's fine, the guys on Raw, fucking deal with it. Whatever.
Yeah, as long as this doesn't end up like, you remember when they tried to do that stupid wild card rule and they bailed on it very quickly?
So that means, maybe on SmackDown, Gunther shows up on SmackDown or something.
Gunther shows up. I'm sure we'll see more Cody on Raw.
Maybe Jey Uso shows up.
Yeah.
Gunther was on SmackDown this last Friday.
That's what I mean. They kind of already started it. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they don't convolute it, because I remember when they tried to do that wild card rule. It was like, 3 people from when bracket can show up at one point throughout at least 3 times throughout the year, and then they're like, no, actually 5 people, and then it just got like to any number. It was like, screw it.
I did hear some rumblings that Triple H has basically said that Netflix debut, they're treating it like a PLE, like they're going to make it a pretty big deal, like a big show. So which I mean, it already was looking like that with all the people they've announced, but I mean, as far as like, we'll probably get some matches announced after Saturday night, some main event and the lead up to it, and actually get like a card and get the what everybody's doing. And but it's going to feel like a really, really big show, and it is 3 hours, right? So I mean, it's going to feel like a PLE.
Which makes me wonder: do you pull it early and do Rollins and Punk debut on Netflix?
That's what they're talking about.
Are they? Oh,
yeah. Also, I think the idea is maybe Cena and maybe Rock, or I think they're talking about Austin as well to show up on that show.
Oh, for appearances.
No, they're definitely gonna have some legends. I even just read to it for SNME, a Saturday Night's Main Event. They're gonna have like probably like your Jimmy Hart, Teddy DiBiase's, like they'll probably have a few of those, like
some of the old school Saturday Night's Main Event guy.
More. Who knows? They'll simply just throw them in the backstage, put them in the crowd. Who knows if they'll actually do anything?
Oh, here's Jimmy Hart meeting with Nick Aldis in the back, whatever.
Exactly.
I
would say something, baby. You should make it a tag team match, baby.
There's a bunch of legends playing cards.
I'm back on Saturday Night's Main Event. Just whatever. Just like the simple shit.
Everyone's got a price, right? Chelsea Green.
I don't know about Ted DiBiase title. Does he still have like this that court case he had, where he was like, accused of defrauding a charity? I don't know if he's still.
Everyone's got a price. Mine is freedom. How much? One of his sons got arrested too. That DiBiase clan. They look nice on paper.
Yeah, Brett and Ted
some
DiBiase
shit, evidently.
Yeah. Real quickly, want to address Brian's other comment in the chat. New Day trying to explain that they didn't need the crowd
getting their nuclear heat on Raw.
Have you seen that clip, Austin?
Yeah, I did watch the whole segment. Yeah, I like that whole segment too. By the way it started with the backstage thing and them getting fed up with what's her name like in the back, and then they took Stu's camera. Stu, like, I don't care if you're John Cena, buddy. Give me that camera, and like them walking out with the camera. Again, I like the things they're doing on Raw and SmackDown with like the presentation and kind of breaking, not necessarily like breaking the fourth wall, but like breaking a little bit of the like, here's the guys walking through the gorilla area, like through the curtain, like, and sometimes we follow them back, when they go through the curtain, if they're arguing or something, like with the New Day thing. Remember how they like walked through the curtain and continued their argument, in the backstage area, the 2 weeks before that. I like the presentation of that, and yeah, them just like not even like getting 2 sentences out at a time, before the crowd was just drowning them out, being like, I said we were just gonna try to explain it, no, boo, like we didn't do anything wrong, boo. Yeah, like no, it was good stuff. Like
we had 10 years of positivity. We had one bad night. You broke
the booze. I didn't expect the Dominic Mysterio level of booze.
Right.
I would argue he doesn't get that many level of booze anymore, Dominic Mysterio. They kind of turning around and I'm like, he's all right.
I mean, he's doing some good heel work. People are enjoying his character. Anyone got anything else they want to?
I was gonna say, like, JB, did you watch NXT Deadline? Anything worth newsworthy coming out of that show, or anything worth going back to check out?
It was a good show. Actually, I do recommend it. Those Iron Survivor matches are actually pretty fun. By the way, it's basically everyone gets to hit all their big moves. Less psychology, just fucking hit. So it is worth. Yeah, Obafemi won for the men's, and Julia won for the women. So they'll be getting some title shots in the future. Lola Vice won an underground match, which is the no ropes. Just kind of fighting here. Axiom and Nathan Frazier retained their titles, and Trick Williams retained his title as well. So
I heard that
no new champions.
Axiom match was awesome. Like I heard that match was worth going over to see.
It was pretty good. Yeah, good breakouts for Tavion and Miles potentially here. Maybe their best match. I mean, that's not a knock in any way. It's just their biggest match probably too. So Nathan Frazier and Axiom, who they've teased before of also breaking up. I really hope they don't. They need to get called to the main roster because I fear for, like this. I mean this in a good way. I fear for them separately. I think they're a great tag team. Keep them as a tag team. Like, have them have matches.
They can really inject some good life in either tag team division. Yeah,
absolutely.
They really do.
Put them on Raw, put them on SmackDown.
Yeah, they're a great tag team, but I think that maybe their individual flaws would stand out if they were just singles. Like, I don't think.
That's what I mean. Like, I think Nathan Frazier is really good, but like, what's his character outside of just being a really good wrestler? So like,
I don't think he's got much charisma outside of being a very good wrestler.
Axiom's a good mass wrestler, but like you already got Dragon Lee in the singles, so like that's what I mean. Like I feel like they create a really cool tag team. So like let's keep them as a really cool tag team. Like don't split them up. Like let's see what they can do on the main roster. So
yeah.
And I will predict whoever wins or whoever loses between Obafemi and Trick Williams, we will see on the main roster.
I think that might be Trick Williams.
I think come Mania, I mean, I could see them both. I could see because we're only in December. I think when we do like a real like draft, I think we might even see one in the Rumble, and maybe see the other one.
That's what I'm saying. Like whoever loses, I think
both kind of ready.
I think we're getting Trick in the Rumble. If I had to put money on it, I say Trick is in the Rumble. Trick gets,
I wouldn't be surprised
in the Rumble, and he's in there.
It's worth noting too, because this is a funny segment. Like Obafemi was not meant to be in the match. He let out Eddie Thorpe, and then and he won the match. And then like on NXT, it was like I want to find out who they'd be out. And at the end, and then he ended up like that he goaded Trick Williams into a title match next week or whatever. And then he signed him the contract with Ava, and he goes, look. And he was like, look, we're still investigating who attacked you. And he goes, Eddie Thorpe goes, I know it was. And he goes, yeah. And then he signs it and he goes, "You're looking at him." He didn't want to go through that match, so he faked an attack so that he could get a one-on-one match on TV. That's fucking
weird way to go about it, but not
awesome.
horrible logic.
I was like, man, this is great. Yeah.
You are hedging your bets though that like Trick will like fly into him. Like if Trick was just like, dude, fuck off, he'd be like, oh okay. Like yeah, I guess never mind. Didn't work. Shit, I should have done the match.
So I think Eddie Thorpe's one of the more underrated talents on that roster. I think he's just been hurt a lot.
He's good. He's a former New Japan guy. He was a New Japan guy, so like he can go.
Yeah. Also dating Dakota Kai. Yeah. But,
if Dark Side of the Ring, by the way, is a few months away. March 25th, we'll get in season 6. So looking forward to that. I always love me some Dark Side of the Ring. One thing I was disappointed in though, Toni Storm's not timeless anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say Toni Storm's back, and she's back to not being black and white again. Yeah, yeah.
Just being the
punk.
Back to backwards cap and sunglasses, Toni Storm. Yeah.
I mean, that's cool too, but I want chin up and tits out.
I guess it makes sense in story, but like the whole point, the whole reason like she kind of blew up is because she finally got a character and she ran with it and realized, oh, this chick has charisma.
And it's not like that character is like run out of steam. People are still enjoying that character. You know, it's one thing if like the gimmick had run its course, but people are still loving everything she does as that character. So why get rid of it? I don't really understand that decision unless there's something behind it or, you know, it's part of a storyline they're going to develop or something. I don't know.
They only had a couple. I missed out on high spots. I was going to buy it was a full inscription. It was chin up, tits out, watch for the shoe, Toni Storm, black and white. And I almost bought it and like someone beat me to it. And it would have been one of the more expensive ones that I paid for because it's a full inscription. But I wanted it that bad. I liked it.
Can I make a prediction now? It's not going to be a PLE. I don't think. Maybe it'll be a PLE. But I think if Mariah May and Toni Storm, I guess it might be on Lord's End. But like, I don't think she wins there. I think she wins at. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. I think she wins at Grand Slam where I'll be because it's in Brisbane and that's close enough to where she's from, which is Gold Coast, which is like 40 minutes from me. Yeah, I'm just. I don't know. If I was booking, that's what I'd do. But I can't read Tony Khan's booking. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. So,
yeah, I don't know if they're going to set up a match for World's End. Yeah, Mariah defeated Mina last night at Winter is Coming, which I was surprised by that they did that instead of just waiting for it for the pay-per-view. Because now if they do a women's title match, it's going to be kind of quickly built. Unless it's Sony, I guess.
Anything else?
No, we touched on the Bronson Reed thing a little bit. Yeah, that sucks for him. Hopefully he'll be back before Mania. I'd like to see that. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, other than that, I didn't have a whole lot. Yeah, unless JPO had any other tidbits or Richie.
Yep, that's what I got so far.
The only thing I've heard, which would be disappointing, is that at least for at least several months, is that Netflix won't have barely any retro content.
For international at least. Yeah. There's something like they're going to start porting over, but chunks at a time. So like when they start, it'll just be like some of the bigger ones, WrestleManias, your Royal Rumbles, your SummerSlams, things like that. But we'll see what happens. So maybe that's why we got to watch December to December before the new year, Richie.
Yeah.
So it goes away. Yeah.
I don't know if you're paying attention. On WWE's YouTube channel, they're actually posting a lot of their stuff that you'd see on the network or on Peacock or whatever on there. So I don't know, maybe they're experimenting with something as well.
I know they posted a lot of the full Rumbles and stuff are just up there on their YouTube channel. You can watch the full match.
It's a good way to double dip your money is what it ends up being. Yeah. They get money off that. So there's X amount of views. You're getting money. It's free money basically to repost shit that you've already owned. No one's paying for it separately anymore. You know what I mean? Old Rumbles and stuff like that. You know, it's not the DVD business anymore where it's like, well, someone might buy a copy of it.
Yeah, I mean, listen to
no.
these views, JPO. Just the first one I pulled up, right?
Yeah.
And this is official WWE channel. Full match, 2008 Royal Rumble, the Madison Square Garden John Cena one, right? Like where he came back, 110 million views. 110 million.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, that'll get some money. Not like a shit ton, but you add that all up. Hey, why not? It's free money.
That's quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, some of these other ones have, even the recent ones have 11, 12 million. Some of the older ones have, you know, in the 9, 10 million, you know, whatever. But I mean, 1992, the Ric Flair famous, you know, one of the best ever, 28 million views on their channel. I mean, that's a lot of views, man. That adds up.
They also added a lot of hidden gems, which are pretty cool. Like they added like the CM Punk and somebody versus Road Warriors when they were like trying to, when they had that brief like return in 2003 before Hulk passed away.
They put up Chris Canyon's Mortis dark matches. He had like 2 of them.
Oh,
they put up those on the vault. Yeah.
I love those. Some of my favorites.
Yeah,
I've never
I remember
seen
there was one for a while you could see on YouTube. I don't know if it's ever been officially released. There was like AJ Styles and the Hurricane had a match like one time, like 01. AJ Styles had a couple matches.
That was straight up televised.
Oh yeah,
that was actually on metal. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like Samoa
Joe had a couple of matches. Yeah, there's some in between, like right before Ring of Honor started, kind of period. Like right before.
You guys ever want to see Drew McIntyre in a tag team match with the Nasty Boys? Now you can.
Also, I think around the time they were maybe trying to court Kenny Omega, before like maybe just before AEW started, they uploaded like a match he had in Deep South Wrestling. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's a Deep South contracted guy. Yeah, he's one of the people that came out against Bill DeMott. Like, this guy's a fucking douche.
I did do one Savannah show with Bill DeMott on our show, and he was kind of a douche. I can't confirm. So in person, I didn't referee his match particularly, but I did. Yeah, he was around the locker room area. Yeah, not the most savory of gentlemen. So.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, let's start ranking some stuff.
Ranking sheet.
All right. Yeah. How are we gonna do this? What are we doing?
Yeah, we doing this. What are we doing?
So if you ever like again, thank you to Malcolm for letting us use his Rankum format. The way it usually works is everybody will nominate something that's going to make the list. However, there are only 13 options. So what we're going to do is we've already got our options. We're just going to rank them. So we're going to just skip to that part. So you're going to write on your board, whiteboard, paper, whatever you have, what you're going to have for number 13. Since we did decide to split Mania into two separate entries, there will be a top 13 instead of a top 12. So yeah, we're just going to skip straight to the ranking part. And then once we just have decided what's at 13, we can go around and give our thoughts. Same for 12, 11, so on until we get the list finalized. So it's like an extended edition of the ranking portion of Rankum.
Yeah.
So
and then we'll see whatever gets the most votes or whatever goes to number 13, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and if there's a tie, we can just go to the chat if Brian is still watching, if he wants to help. If not, we can probably just go to a wheel.
I'll pull up a wheel if we need to, and we can fill it in if needed. That's fine. Because I feel like this back like 4 or 5 may be a little jumbled, but it'll get a little more concise once we get down the list, I think.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's some obvious like ones that will probably make the top 5. So I'll have a wheel ready to. I got one. So see what we do.
All right. So
I've got my 13 ready.
Oh yeah. Real quick. Yeah, we'll go ahead and write down our 13. Whatever gets the most votes is going to be the official number 13. Pez, we'll start with you. What do you got?
Crown Jewel is my 13.
JPO, what do you got?
I want Elimination Chamber.
Okay. Richie, what do you got?
I probably Crown Jewel as well.
And I also have Crown Jewel.
There you go. Well, that's Unanimous. All right. Cool.
And it's also not far from truly unanimous. 12. So
Okay.
I'm not like.
Well, and I might have
disagreeing
something,
as well.
JPO, in a second that's similar to yours. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not too far off. Yeah.
All right.
I was. Well, I guess we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it when it's ranked.
Go,
Yeah.
go quick, yeah.
Or why.
Has your quick thoughts on?
No, I mean, I just thought it was kind of an inconsequential pay per view. It was a lot of, I thought, filler stuff. I thought the two matches for the dumb belt that we're never going to use but once a year was really stupid and kind of a waste of a Cody Gunther match, if you ask me. Like that's kind of a money match, and I thought you just kind of wasted it just because Saudi Arabia wanted to give us a ring and a belt and something stupid. I thought the Bloodline match was probably one of the more like filler Bloodline matches. Like we were just kind of biding our time till War Games, just to get those guys in there, and just didn't really happen. Again, just not a lot of, I could even have ones on this list, and I won't spoil anything. I'm just saying I could have ones on this list that maybe the matches were, all fine and good, but like if there was good story progression, if there was a good crowd, something that made it stand out, I could have it higher than other ones. I just thought like it was totally watchable and fine. Again, I don't have anything that's like a bad one, but like it just felt like if you ever watch a TV show and you got like those filler episodes where you feel like just nothing really happened or nothing really moved forward, that's what I felt about Crown Jewel.
Yeah, JPO.
No, a lot of the same sentiments there. Inconsequential main event. Cody Gunther could be a Mania main event as far as I'm concerned, but instead we got it here for a belt that doesn't matter. The other women's Crown Jewel match between two heels, which is just fine, but not totally pay-per-view worthy as well. Good triple threat match, but a lot of this did feel like a show just to have a show, for a place, instead of it being a consequential one that like moved the needle. A lot of my lower ones are pay-per-views didn't move the needle much. I also feel like the Bloodline match is just kind of a middle chapter one too, it seems.
Yeah. Richie.
Yeah, it just probably not much the same, and yeah, it felt like by creating this belt, you sort of made Crown Jewel or whatever other Saudi other name they're gonna call the Saudi PLE. Like you just made it less important. Which I thought they were gonna. They're about. It looked like they were treating the opposite way, where it's like, oh, these things feel like a bit more important now. Because earlier on, you would just have matches. Yeah, like John Cena versus Triple H, just because sort of they're active and that's what the Saudi government wanted, and it's just like, yeah, it's just inconsequential. It just felt like a sort of a house show on steroids. And now because we've got these belts and that stuff, I think and they're kind of at the that they're going to have to do what the Saudis sort of want at the end of the day. We're sort of going back to that in a way, and there was not much storyline progression. So yeah, that's why I got it. Yeah, at 13.
Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, I'll just agree with everything you guys said. Yeah, the Saudi shows just feel like, all right, well, we're not going to pay attention to storylines much. This is just kind of what they want, and we're going to give it to them. And I cannot wait until they are no longer in that contract with Saudi.
I don't know. They might renew it, man. It's a lot of money.
Money talks. So yeah,
it's money, dude, and it's not just like upper management money. Like anybody who works the show, they get pretty good paydays, like almost WrestleMania paydays, and it's like it's a lot of money. Like it's a long trip and stuff, and they do like go there, almost for a week or whatever. But like a lot of those guys have said it's worth it. Like the payday is one of their bigger ones they'll get all year. So like they would do it for the money, and yeah, if they're gonna work a match, it really doesn't, it's just kind of there, but like they do their thing. They do a lot of appearances. Money talks, man. It just is what it is, man. Those guys have money and they burn it, and WWE doesn't have to spend a dime to do it. Like it's literally all on their pocket. Like it's all on their payroll. Like they supply apparently like everything, the flights, the booking fees for the building, everything is on their dime. So like it's really almost a free money, found money that they just have to show up and do the show.
Yeah, I think, yeah, like I said, I think Jericho said in an interview, like, if you saw how much money I made for being in the Greatest Royal Rumble for 3 minutes.
For 3 minutes, and his check was probably bigger than any check maybe he's ever gotten ever. Like those guys will do it, for that money. Goldberg made a lot of money, just show up for there, Taker, all those guys, they make money, they pay. So, just is what it is.
So, yeah, Crown Jewel at number 13. So now we'll move on to number 12. JPO, what do you have for number 12?
Chamber.
Richie.
Not to pick on Saudi, but King and Queen of the Ring.
I said Survivor Series.
I also had the Elimination Chamber. I hinted at it, JPO. That's literally my number.
Yeah, then we need to flip up, yeah.
Yep,
not far off. Not far off.
Yeah,
like I think there's 4 or 5 that the bottom of the barrel, and that was not bottom of the barrel because they were still good. But JPO, thoughts on Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Some of the shows that we've had for years now didn't live up to the hype this year, and Chamber is one of them. One, talk about a no-brainer main event here. Rhea Ripley or Nia Jax. The match was fine. That's not a main event for me here. It's just based on where they are. But I'm sorry, I need more. Even if the crowd's kind of into it, I need more than that. The Chamber matches were just fine. This show did have, though? A really good tag title match.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah,
and you know what?
Republic.
It's the tag team pay-per-view match of the year because it's the only one, if you don't count those ladder matches. It's the only normal tag team title shot match.
Tag match,
and it was good. It was it was Pete Dunne finally being Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate finally getting also probably a rare PLE appearance against Judgment Day. So by de facto, just might be one of the best tag teams of the year because at least they had a really good PLE match. Which I forgot about looking up the cards again. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of these I'll admit too. I'm part of it is going by paper versus memory as well because I'm looking at it on paper. First time I've seen this. Obviously, I never rewatched this other than the one time watch in February. So maybe the crowd is a little more into it, but on paper and memory, I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of a whatever show.
No, I think that definitely factors in because there may have been better AEW shows than Wrestle Dream this year, but for me, that's going to be my number one because I was there. I got to experience it, and so that's
and me, not to spoil mine, but it'll be the Revolution Sting's final thing because I was there. That factors a lot into it. And it was a good show, but I was also there, and it was pretty great. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is.
So, Richie, your thoughts on the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view or PLE?
Yeah, I might have a little bit of bias because not that it was in Brisbane necessarily, but it was in Perth, Australia. But there was still some good on the show. But I don't think even though she's Australian, I don't think we expected Rhea to be in the main event. But even then, it was it was like JP said, I think it's a no-brainer. But even though I don't think people realize Nia Jax technically is Australian from Sydney, but it was short. It was only at the start of her reign as well. So she wasn't going to lose here. Remember the Elimination Chamber match being good. I just remember there was some filler on the show. It's well, why don't we wrestle? Yeah, we want WrestleMania in UK. We want WrestleMania in Australia. Australia. Yeah, they did the whole back and forth thing with Grayson Waller, and that was very much a time filler thing. I remember the Grayson factor. I'm like, okay, this could have been. You could have had a match here, but he had a tag title match. It was good. I will say it does speak to the quality of WPLEs. That I didn't mind this show, and it's number 12. But I don't know. I think it's just like JP said, it comes down to memory sometimes as well. Because I don't because it was at the start of the year as well. I don't remember a lot of it, but I suppose some other ones. So, but yeah.
Yeah, this was an interesting one for me to rank because it does have that awesome tag team match, and I think Rhea and Nia was a better than expected main event. I didn't go into it expecting them to have this match of the year candidate, but I didn't expect them to have as good of a match as they did. The Elimination Chamber matches themselves, I feel like they were kind of predictable. You kind of knew who was coming out on top, which pulls it back a little. So there were ups and downs. So I actually had this one all the way up at 9. This was the 9 for me, but I can understand why it would be a little bit lower for other people. I think there were some good highs, but yeah, the lows and just the whole predictability of it all kind of does, put it a little bit lower on the list. Pez, your thoughts?
No, I mean, that's the key word for me, and this one is predictability. I think when we did the predictions, we were scrambling to like try to come up with different things to predict, for like that thing, because I think we all like had pretty much all the same predictions for like every match, because you're already on the like so close to WrestleMania. We already kind of know where they're going storyline wise. So Drew McIntyre is going to win and get a shot. We knew like Becky was going to win. There was just so much predictability to that show that it was just like it just was what it was. Again, I'm glad they went to another country, so at least gives it an extra feel. Anytime they do these foreign countries, because the crowds are usually good. And again, a perfectly fine show. I didn't hate any of these shows, but like right. Just memorability and predictability for me are big factors.
Yeah. All right. So, yes, Elimination Chamber number 12. Richie, what do you have for number 11?
I'll stick with King and Queen of the Ring.
I'm gonna stick with Survivor Series. Pez?
I legitimately have King and Queen of the Ring. Next one down.
All right. JPO.
I had Bash in Berlin.
All right, so we're going to go with a King and Queen of the Ring at number 11. Richie, your thoughts?
I will say with the King and Queen of the Ring, I liked that they finally that had stakes, like the winners actually get something as opposed to just a stupid crown and a losing streak. Well, sometimes it was a losing streak back in the day. So that was good. I think what kind of brings it down for me though is like outside of that, I don't remember a lot about the show. And yeah, I think that's the issue. Is that it was built on King Queen of the Ring, and then I'm like, I have to look up like what else happened on this show. I'm like having to look up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, I don't know. It was like the matches are. I'm sure that the matches are all good, and I'm sure some are like I don't know. There was that weird sort of finish of the Gunther Randy Orton thing, but Gunther and Randy Orton was cool because but yeah, it was. We didn't know that was a weird finish at the time. Like they would lead to something, but and then Bronze Arena Intercontinental title match, that was alright. And then Liv Morgan, winning the women's title, and I believe that was Becky's last match to date for now, until she's so she hasn't shown back up yet. But yeah, so there were moments on the show that were, I only really remember it's just one of those things. Again, it just comes down to memorability. I should be able to remember the Liv Becky Lynch thing, but I remember it happened. I just can't remember. It happened on this show. Okay, but yeah. So again, it felt more consequential than obviously Crown Jewel, but still, it was just, I don't know. There's something about these like Saudi shows that always have to have like an extra sort of gimmick. Like I don't know. They are like not as memorable or something. I don't know. This wasn't it for me, but it was still good.
Yeah, I might be higher on this than most because I actually had this at 6. I really enjoyed this show. I thought the start of Liv Morgan's title reign, I thought they had a really good match. The involvement of Dominic, that's kind of where it started. Part of this is also looking back, like where have we gone since then, and like seeing that this is like where some of this has started. like, all right, well, I've liked where we've gone this where, and that kind of is playing a factor for me as well. I thought the triple threat between Sammy, Chad, and Bronson was a lot of fun. Gunther and Randy Orton, I thought had a really great match. And then even Cody and Logan was good. I would have liked it if Gunther and Randy had main evented, since this was like King and Queen of the Ring. Put those matches on last. You can put Cody and Logan like third to the end, I think, and that would be okay for a show like this. So like the order, I would have changed it around a little bit, but yeah, I think Nia winning Queen of the Ring. Like I think we've all said like we've seen improvement in her over the years, and I think she's been able to take that Queen and run with it a little bit. Just overall, I thought this was a really solid show. And yeah, I think I just liked it a little bit more than most of them.
I guess that's what I'll say is the predictability. It comes down to like with the other Saudi shows. Like I never thought Logan Paul was going to beat Cody, considering he was still the United States champion at the time. But yeah.
No, right. Which is why, like for me, like I agree with that. Which is why I would say, put that kind of like third, because it is your main title. Put that like third to the end, and then put your Queen and King of the Ring as your co-main events. I know we don't like to use that word, but co-main events, and I think that kind of fixes it a little bit. But yeah, Pez, you agreed. So what are your thoughts on?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, it's predictability, it's memorability. It was totally fine when I was watching it, but I also had to like pull up the Wikipedia for a couple of these ones at the bottom and be like, what else is on that show? Like King and Queen of the Ring. And I was like, I vaguely remember Gunther winning King. I don't remember anything else. Like Nia winning Queen, but like I don't remember who they faced. Like I forgot it was like a Randy Orton Gunther. I thought that match was totally fine. I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was okay. It was kind of a slow motion match for me. Like I was, and then like Cody and Logan was okay, but nobody in the right mind thought Logan was going to win that match. So it was like whatever. I just thought the show was just kind of there, much like the Saudi shows, where it's fine while you're watching it, totally is, and then I forgot it happened a week later. hence the ranking. So yeah, and I don't think they really did anything with the King and Queen thing like they usually do. I thought like they kind of dropped it. Like, am I wrong? Like they kind of quit just even addressing him by that. Like by a few weeks later, it's like Nia stopped doing it. Like Gunther barely acknowledged it like the whole year. Like he doesn't acknowledge it at all. Like that he's like king, the king general or whatever. Like I feel like they just kind of did the gimmick just to do it and then didn't do anything with it. Didn't play it up.
No, it's totally fair. JPO, your thoughts on King and Queen?
No, it's fun. We're actually a little split again. I'm a little bit more with Barber. It's a little bit higher up for me here because I thought it at least had moments. I liked the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring. I liked Gunther versus Orton. It was cool seeing that matchup for the first time. I think it's as good as the next one, but a little more unpredictable to a degree, despite the finish. And I see what you're saying, Pez, but at the same time, I don't think you need to ham in on the King and Queen thing every year. I'm King Sheamus, and I'm going to wear a crown for the next 6 months. Like, it did lead to somewhere. They both ended up being champions. Like, that's what it was meant to be. Kind of like Richie said earlier, for once we had some stakes in the tournament, too, that did pay off, technically. So, and I remember being happy with, like, Nia actually being crowned. And, like, weirdly enough, that was, like, a good moment, despite her not having the greatest last couple of PLE showings. Yeah. At this point, I think at the time, I was pretty high on it. So, I had a little bit higher, but I could definitely see the qualms as well.
It'd be interesting to know whether that sort of the pin at the end of the Gunther Randy Orton match, if that was an actual like botch, or whether they planned that in order to get to Bash at Berlin, and then they just sort of went with the idea. Oh yeah, no, they went with the idea that was meant to happen when it wasn't, and then just sort of they carried on with that to build a match at Bash at Berlin. I don't know, but yeah, because it felt a bit wonky at the time, but if that was the initial plan, then that would probably make it better. But yeah, that was certainly sort of maybe let down that match. But yeah, if it was planned, that makes the match better.
But yeah, that is number 11. So now we're going to vote on number 10. And I haven't crossed it out and written anything new yet. I still have Survivor Series. Pez?
JPO and I might be a little simpatico for a lot of our lists. I have Bash in Berlin.
JPO?
Ditto.
Yeah.
And Richie.
Yeah, I was about to say before, like you don't have to wait very long, JPO, because also Bash at Berlin.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
So Bash in Berlin. I have at number 7, so I have it just behind again, like none of these are bad. Like you guys have all said, there's nothing. They're not bad. So we're not like it's not number 10 because it's bad. I thought Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens was a lot of fun. I think I remember watching and being like, oh, is Kevin gonna like lead into that heel side a little bit more and kind of focus on Cody's like injuries or whatever. I will say the tag team match for the women's tag team match not very memorable, but that's all right. The strap match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, I think, is a lot of fun. I remember the ending. He's doing like the GTS in between touching the turnbuckles, which I think is a lot of fun. Although I do think you need to pick one. Is it going to be you win by pinfall or you win by touching all 4 corners? Pick one and stick to one. Don't go back and forth because I think the Fiend and Daniel Bryan, they had a strap match, but you win by pinfall. Pick one. Stick to one, please. We had that mixed tag match between Terror Twins and the Judgment Day. I thought that was fun. And then Gunther and Randy Orton again. This is where they had their rematch. Gunther defeating Randy Orton. I do think this match was a little bit better than their King of the Ring match. But yeah, I thought this one was solid from top to bottom, except for maybe that women's tag title match, which is why I just have it below King and Queen of the Ring for me personally. But still, I think overall solid. So I'm curious to hear all your thoughts because obviously I'm in the minority, but you guys are all in agreement here. So Pez, what are your thoughts on Bash?
I thought it was a good crowd for a perfectly okay show. I just felt kind of underwhelmed most of the show. When a very old school strap match, when I thought that was kind of the best match of the show, just because of some of the creativity they did with it, I think your show's in a little bit of trouble. I didn't need a rematch between Gunther and Randy Orton. I didn't particularly love their first match, and when the second match went almost twice as long, I thought it was twice as slow. I just didn't think they had chemistry. Maybe they thought they did. I didn't feel the chemistry at all, and I think that they did it because obviously Gunther's from there. So, and he wasn't even really like as much of the hometown favorite as I thought they were. They were just as much into Orton as him. So it wasn't even really like, again, I think going into it, if you recall, I said if he had actually won the title instead of going in as champion in Berlin, would have made the show a little more memorable. But him just walking in as champion and walking out, I thought it was a little less memorable there. So it just didn't do a lot for me. You had like the Judgment Day Terror Twins thing, which I thought was fine. But Cody and Owens frustrated me because of the dumb decisions that Kevin Owens as a character made in that match, not exploiting injuries, not doing stuff because, in the sake of our friendship, only to just turn heel anyways. Like a week later, I thought it was fucking stupid. I thought that was, looking back on it, it's even more frustrating now because it's like, well, you're just going to turn heel anyways? Why don't you just do it during the match and win the fucking title? Like, it just, I'm totally agreement with, if you remember Wade Barrett during the match, just absolutely having an aneurysm, just be like, Kevin Owens is for the goddamn title. Explain his stupid knee. Like, win the damn title, and he didn't do it, and he just turned heel anyways. Like, it was a frustrating show. It was a frustrating show with a good crowd and some decent in-ring work, but I ended up more frustrated at the end of it in what could have been one of the best shows of the year to me.
Well, he didn't have a reason to turn heel at that time because he didn't side with Roman Reigns yet.
Kevin Owens is always a heel. I've never bought his babyface runs. He's always better as a heel. Always.
He does play a heel
way better than a babyface.
I'm surprised it took this long to turn him again. Yeah. JPO, your thoughts?
No, similar here. I'm a big, like I said before, moving the needle, doing something different here. Gunther and Orton, I enjoyed seeing it for the first time because it was for the first time. Now it's longer and it's not really that much better than the first one, so cool. And even more less obvious that Gunther ain't dropping the title, so there goes predictability. Mixed tag match, fun, but whatever. and while Punk versus Drew is good, it's a middle chapter in in a story. So like, just nothing horrible, nothing great here. You know what I mean? And on paper, I'm just like, oh, okay.
All right, Richie.
Yeah, pretty much same. Like I've never been a huge fan of strap matches anyway. But if I had to pick, I'd choose. I prefer just your normal like strap match with like like pinfalls and stuff. I don't really like the whole like red light, green light kind of bullshit. There was some creative stuff in the match though, and that's probably the best match on the show. I don't even know. Looking back on it, I don't even know why they Unholy Union even held the tag titles. I guess we'll get to it with it was because of the Scotland thing. But yeah, I just asked my question. But they didn't do anything with it, and then they just dropped them back to Jade and Bianca, who are probably going to turn on each other anyway. Territory. I don't even think they call them that anymore. Just, but that was fun what it was. Gunther and Randy Orton. I just think they both work at a methodical pace, and I think they're best used with guys who can sort of can work maybe at a fast pace, so that they're forced to kind of work at that pace. But when you've got both two methodical guys, it can be a bit boring. And I thought that was what it was. I don't mind it for a few minutes, but yeah, it went a bit too long. I think that the crowd made the show a bit, but yeah, and I never thought Randy Orton was going to beat Gunther anyway, not only because it was early into his reign, but also I think they're on different shows. So I was just like, he's not winning. So it's just a bit predictability, and I don't know, it felt a bit it was just a show that was there. The only thing that was to be unique about it is that they were in Germany and the crowd was good. And I don't know, it seemed like there was so much unity as well, not to have Ludwig Kaiser in a match on the show. But it was cool that he was still there doing the announcement. But I don't know. I just think maybe he could sort of, I don't know. I actually agree with Pez. It would have been cool to have him win the title on the show, but it is what it is.
That, and if he had come up to his old classical music theme, would have jumped this show up another notch.
Yeah.
Honestly. And have the whole crowd going, da, 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 da. I miss that music. I don't like his music. Yeah. So, anyways, number 10.
And number 10. So now we're going to vote on number 9. Pez, what do you got?
Money in the Bank is my number 9.
APO?
You're muted.
I wasn't ready. I have SummerSlam.
Oh. Richie?
I have Clash at the Castle. This might be a bit.
All right, Pez, get the wheel ready. Unless Brian's watching.
Oh boy,
Brian, if you're there, vote.
I don't know if he's there. That might be my girl watching. She ain't gonna vote. So, all right. So I'll get the wheel ready.
The only other suggestion I have is maybe anyone want to vote for what their next one is, because I have Survivor Series next, so I'm keen to giving that a second vote.
If it's one away,
right? I'm just saying.
Actually, funny enough, at number 8, I also have Survivor Series.
So yeah,
and Jacob's had Survivor Series on his board for a while, so I'm fine with that.
Well, what I'm saying, if it's truly our next one, then bam, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. So no,
I'm not just saying that's fair because it's my pick.
No, I'm jumping ahead, but I'm only jumping ahead one notch. Yeah.
In the future, unless Brian or somebody was here, or if your girl saw all the pay-per-views, has she seen all of them?
She's watched a good chunk of them with me actually, but I don't know how much she actually remembers of any of these. So she mostly just takes it 1-to-1 and is like, "What's going on?" We'll watch the little videos that they do and be like, "Oh, okay, this or that." She cares about Punk. She likes CM Punk. She's interested in the Bloodline thing for the most part.
Okay.
Pretty much what everybody else is. The CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud, she's into it. Good feud. You should be into it. The Bloodline feud, good feud. You should be into it. Everything else is like, what's going on with this? Oh, okay. Whatever it is, week to week. So yeah.
So Pez, your thoughts on Survivor Series?
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, I had it just one more up, so it's still in that bottom half. But like we said, a lot of these totally watchable as you're going along. I thought a nice blow off, for now of the Bloodline feud. I know that it's not dead, but a nice revenge thing of Roman's team and getting in there. And I thought they did a lot of great storytelling in that match. I thought the storytelling was really the highlight of that match. More so than them doing big crazy spots and yada yada yada. Just everybody getting their little moments and whatnot. The women's one was a mess. So that match did not start off the show very good. That women's one was kind of a disaster, but the men's one elevated it. I thought the surprise of Nakamura winning the title helped the pay-per-view a little bit, so that at least gave it a little bit of that unpredictability going into that. What else? The IC title match I thought was really good. That might have been the match of the show for me. That triple threat, really fun, entertaining from start to finish. So again, not good. My thing was when you get to this up over the list, it needs to have either a lot of really great storytelling or unpredictability, or at least like a match of the year candidate, something like that. For me to be in that kind of upper echelon. So that's what we're going with. But still, again, totally had a good time watching it while I was watching it.
Yeah. JPO?
No, similar. Like when we just reviewed this not that long ago, so it's not like we haven't talked about this recently. But I think we all said we had fun with this. It was good. But as far as really being a show of the year, it does lack a little bit here. You know what I mean? Yeah, that triple threat's a lot of fun. Shout out to Kaiser finally getting a shot. Bakunda versus Priest, we've seen it. It's as good as the other one, and plus again predictability, is obvious here. Both War Games were good, but not next level by any means. You know what I mean? So it is one of those that at the end of the day, it's a totally watchable this year. Absolutely. In the pantheon of War Games and Survivor Series,
Richie.
Yeah, I think the show was good. I think the Intercontinental title match, obviously.
No surprise there. Thanks, babe. she does watch though, so shout her. She watches everything I'm on, so she at least gives us the view. So I appreciate it. So she'll have it on when she's trying to go to bed. Go to bed.
Yeah. But I agree that the triple threat match was great, and it was good to see Ludwig getting a showcase here. And that match, the way it went, that was played out, wasn't obvious who was going to win the match. But the women's War Games, having Nia be in the. I guess they wanted to do the whole, hey, look, Bailey and Nia feuded. It was you don't have Nia in the first two. That was bad. And then her very soft chair shots. But and then it was a bit clunky with a few, a few highlights. But and other than that, it was just sort of it was just sort of there. Yeah, and in the Pantheon Survivor Series, it's there. I don't know. Yeah, it's I miss sort of more sort of the traditional elimination matches too at Survivor Series. I don't know. I like all the matches, but I kind of wish to also get back to that a bit.
I feel like you could have done that for the women's one. Did that one need to be a War Games match? Not really, right?
Yeah. Also, now we didn't talk about this in our review, but what the fuck was? Remember before the men's match? Why did they do a whole Key and Peele sketch? It went Jey Uso, Geek University.
That is weird. Yeah.
That was dumb. Anyway, that was on the side. But
I watched on replay, so I skipped that part. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like CM Punk Go to Sleep University or something stupid. It was something stupid. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. It's dumb. Feels like the ESPN guy being like, "We can do that thing," and then it failed, and we'll never do that again. That was dumb.
That's why Pat McAfee's coming down. Joe, you're out.
No.
It was weird. But show was I mean and it picked up a couple injuries. We got one thing we didn't mention. Tangaloa got injured too. The cut Tangaloa is also injured. He unfortunately I think he did his bicep or shoulder wound in that match as well, so he'd be out for a while. But I don't know. The match is just. The show had high spots, but highlights. But other than that, it was in the Pantheon Survivor Series, it's just that.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of brought it down for me is like this is supposed to be one of your big four, and you don't deliver. I think on paper it looks fine, but like in ring, match quality, it's not quite there. Yeah, that women's War Games match, it was clunky. It was not good. The more I think about it, like I just don't like it. While Shinsuke LA Knight gave us a nice result and unpredictability, I think the match itself it was just okay, and then it just feels like it was over. IC Triple Threat, it was a great match, best match of the night. But when your pay-per-view is called Survivor Series War Games, I feel like your War Games matches should kind of be, what's drawing people in. I think more people are talking about, the injuries and then the Triple Threat. Or at least I am. I love the Triple Threat. Gunther, Damian, we saw before. I don't think this was as good as their first match. And then while I think the men's War Games matches had, some good storytelling between Reigns and Punk, I think that's my takeaway from it, along with the injuries. Not much. There were some good moves and some good in-ring work during the match, but that's not what I'm remembering coming out of it. So that's why I had it a little lower. I think I was just more disappointed in this one because it was one of the big four, and we did have this build up for these War Games matches, and then they did deliver. So while some of the ones that are ranked higher that you guys have ranked, whatever, I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. It was just more of a disappointment factor for me than anything, which is why I ranked it so low. But again, not a bad show. Just it's like when your parents say, I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed. That's how I feel about this show. I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed. But that's number 9, right? So JPL, what do you got for number 8?
All right. SummerSlam.
Richie.
Clash at the Castle, Scotland.
I also have Clash at the Castle. Pez?
Money in the Bank. But Clash at the Castle. All right.
Well, don't erase your board, Pez. Spoilers.
Okay.
But
I'm not too far off. I'm only like 2 notches off on Clash of the Castle, so I'm not too still in the outside the top 5. So I'm not that different.
Yeah.
I feel like my 8, 7, and 6 could all kind of shift depending on my mood. So I'm fine with any one of those being in there. I feel like I have a pretty definitive top 5, but yeah, my other ones could
me
kind
too.
of wobble a little bit. My 5 are my 5 for sure.
Yeah.
And then everything else is kind of like, I could shift that around, blah, blah, blah. Not married to it.
But JPO, your thoughts on Clash at the Castle?
I mean, okay. No, good. I'm not. No, I didn't mind it too much. Again, kind of looking back at it here, Priest versus Drew. I didn't mind at the time. Piper getting a title shot, I thought was pretty cool and well deserved. Sane and Gable had a really good match, and also this was really good Cody versus AJ match here. So I thought the quality of match was actually pretty good.
Richie.
Yeah, I thought that the only real the problem is that brings it down. It's not like most of the match quality was great. Like Sammy and Gable, I think had one of the better feuds of the year. We'll probably talk about it. And we could talk about it in a lot of other things. I think, yeah, anything like that from us, Gable number fucking 1. My big my big issue is 2 things. I feel like while it was a cool moment for the Unholy Union, it was not surprising that they won the tag titles. All of us thought, they only won it because they're in Scotland, and given their reign, they kind of proved that point. It was just like, I don't know. I feel like it would have been. I feel like they did them a disservice. I'm like, they're 2 good wrestlers. I feel like it'd be cool if they actually just got behind them and did something with and just actually wanted to actually have them as tag champions and do something with them. But like prior to this, they weren't doing anything with them too. So I don't know. It was a cool moment, but like just like I don't know. It felt like a bit almost condescending. Like, hey, but they've done it before. That's what we'll talk about. It's like, hey, what you're in, we're in Scotland. You'll get your moment, and then that's it. And then I understand from a storyline perspective why it happened, but it also made the character a bit weird. I think Drew should have beaten Priest here. Just give him a Scotland moment. I understand from a whole like antagonistic like get under your skin point of view why they had Punk do what he did. But if you also go look at the backstage thing, like they had like gestures to give him a referee. I don't know that was that easy to do that. But yeah, I'm just like he should have won. He just should have won, yeah. And then like you could still do the you could still play into that storyline. I just felt like maybe they could have taken a night off on that story just for that moment. Just have Drew have his moment. That would have been cool. So, but that's what brings it down for me. But yeah, still like a good show and a great crowd.
Yeah, I had this one at number 11. I had this one pretty low because I think looking back on it, I think there were some booking decisions that I didn't necessarily like, such as Drew not winning the title. Even though I'm pretty sure I did pick Damian to win when we did our predictions, but it was one of those where I hope I'm wrong because I think Drew does deserve that moment. But the Punk interference kind of seemed inevitable, and I'm not a big fan of that either. Interference in your main event title match. Well, yeah, it does further the story between Punk and Drew. Like, I like my main event title matches on pay-per-views to have like a definitive finish, and that just kind of sours it for me. I think we all thought this was where Chad Gable should have won the IC title, and while it was a good match, that ending still just kind of leaves a sour taste in my mouth as well. I don't remember the women's tag title match at all. I think Bayley and Piper Niven was good, but again, don't remember much of it. Cody and AJ, I think it was a great way to open the show. I quit. But again, I don't remember much of the match. There was another Cody AJ match that I thought was fantastic that we'll get to in a little bit. But overall, I think there were just some disappointing booking decisions that brought this down a little bit for me. And it's like we could have had a nice Chad Gable run. We could have had a nice, Drew McIntyre, because you could have still done the CM Punk Drew. Like if you wanted to do that, give Drew his moment, but then cut his title reign short. I think that could have furthered the feud between Punk and Drew as well. So yeah, just disappointing booking decisions. However, great crowd. Pez.
Yeah, I had this slightly higher because I thought the crowd was awesome. I thought there were some good moments. Like I thought the three main matches, the I Quit match, the Sammy Gable match, the Sammy Gable match, and the main event were all really good. But again, had Drew won the title and had that moment, this could have been a top 5 show. I think it could have skirted in there had he had that moment, because it would have been a great moment. I think the crowd would have eaten up, and I think you could have still had the CM Punk stuff, have Drew overcome it and win the title. How great would that have been? If he overcomes the CM Punk thing, thwarts it and still wins, that would be great. And you could still keep the feud going, but he could still get his moment to win. Had he done that, I think it propels it even further. But yeah, it's still kind of a baffling decision, even looking back on it, given Damian's run with the title. It's like he couldn't have had Drew at least held it for 2 months, something like that, at least something, for a little bit. I feel like you can do that with a world heavyweight title and it wouldn't have hurt him, wouldn't have killed him. But yeah, like I just think it would have been fine. So, you make a couple of tweaks, like you said, this could actually be much, much higher. JPO, what'd you think of Clash of the Castle?
Clash of the Castle. Did I start off with that?
Oh yeah. I think you started on this one.
Yeah, I started on that one. Okay, what are we going number 7 then? All right.
Yeah, moving on to number 7.
JPO, I think you're first though. Yeah.
Richie, what do you have?
SummerSlam. Oh, sorry.
Oh, he's sticking with SummerSlam anyways. Yeah.
SummerSlam. I got check here. I've got I also have SummerSlam, so that's right. Mhm.
Oh, I have Money in the Bank.
I also have Money in the Bank.
Whoa.
So all right.
You know what? I will.
I thought Money in the Bank was a fucking awesome show. Y'all are out of your minds. So what the
I
hell?
mean,
How is SummerSlam not a top 5 show for you guys? You guys are out of your minds? Like that show was great. Best storytelling show of the year. But anyways,
I also have SummerSlam a little bit higher, but
way higher. All right. Well, I guess we're spinning a wheel then. So okay. I feel like it's weird. It's coming down to a wheel spin, but all right, we'll get there. All right. Okay. Here we go. Present share screen. All right, there we go. All right.
keep going. Okay.
All right, Money in the Bank. Okay. There we go. All right.
There you go. You got.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, Money in the Bank. Richie, what are your thoughts on Money in the Bank?
Well, the fact that I have to refresh myself. What happens to Money in the Bank?
That should say a lot about Money in the Bank, Richie. Just saying that you have to remind yourself what the hell was on the show.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the 2 Money in the Bank matches. Sami Zayn beat Braun Breaker. Damian Priest beat Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre after he cashed in. And a really nothing happened in Bloodline versus Cody, Kevin, and Randy 6-man tag. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. So I remember that Sammy beating Braun, and that was a bit weird because it was just after Braun got kind of officially brought up to the main roster and he's on the tier. That's sweet. This is you straight well on top. You have him beat Sammy, and he didn't. And you're like, okay. That was a bit kind of. I mean, he would end up getting eventually, and I guess he told a story, but yeah, I kind of like yeah. I mean, and Tiffy winning, I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, I wish he would catch it now at this point, but it is what it is. But yeah, yeah. In retrospect, maybe I should have this. I should have this. Yeah, like I should have had this. Below SummerSlam, because because I forgot. Yeah, that's where Drew won the Money in the Bank, and then he goes to cash it in, gets a triple threat, and then he does cash it in, right? He
cashed in to get in the match and he lost like a geek.
Oh yeah, he cashed it in and he lost. Yes, I remember that now. Yes, and then so this is like, and then you had David Priest and Seth Rollins, it was a good match. Didn't think it was anything like I think it was a good match. So in reflection, this is a good spot for it.
Yeah, I had this at number 10.
I had it at number 9. I'm with you, Jake.
Yeah.
It was like way lower even for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we started off the show really good. Great Money in the Bank ladder match. I thought it was really good. Drew winning, I think it surprised a number of us because I think a lot of us either had Jay or LA Knight winning. So we kind of swerved us a little bit with that. All right, cool. We're starting off pretty good. Then we get to Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker. While it's not a bad match, Sami wins. Braun's on this run, and he just one haluva kick, and it's done. Okay. Bad booking decision. Great match. Bad booking decision. Damian Priest. Yeah, Drew cashing in. Complete waste of the briefcase. I thought it was stupid. All to further a feud between Drew and CM Punk. Again, could have done without that. Whatever. I think the best part of the show was Tiffany Stratton winning Money in the Bank. I think at this time she was super over. I think she's still, a little over. But yeah, I mean, I at this point it's like, do something with the briefcase other than just tease cash-ins all the time.
If she had cashed in at War Games, that would have elevated that match and made it better.
Yeah.
If she all of a sudden in the middle of that match cashed in the thing, won a title and booked out of the cage, with the title, like that would have made that match way more memorable, would have elevated the whole pay-per-view. Period. Right. I just what I said they should have done, and that's what they should have done in retrospect. Yeah. And
because they're clearly, I feel like they're. I mean, maybe not clearly, but I feel like they're building towards Nia and Tiff. Maybe some. I don't know if it's a Mania thing, but like they're clearly going towards that soon. So yeah, it makes sense.
But Pez, ask me what I remember about the main event.
What do you remember about the main event?
Not a thing.
Nothing. Me neither. Which is another reason it's lower on my list, Jacob. Because I'm very much in line with you. Like, the two Money in the Bank matches, the actual matches were really good. Both excellent. Both cool outcomes. I was fine with. I mean, you had some decent undercard stuff. Yeah, and Sammy and Braun was fine, but a bad outcome because Braun was on this tear and then you just beat him. With one kick. I was like, huh? Like I thought for sure he was gonna kick out of that and just keep going, but nope. All right, weird. And then Drew, just like a total dork, cashes in the thing and loses. Like, I'm sorry, anybody who cashes in their Money in the Bank and loses, you're kind of a geek. Like, you should and look at the history of the people who have cashed in and lost. You're kind of a dork. So, like, it at least momentarily you are. So I feel like there was a better cash in obviously earlier in the year that was successful. That was great. That helped elevate that show. But so I mean, it was good, but again, some weird booking decisions.
You're always in my thoughts, Damien Sand.
Yeah. JPO, any thoughts on Money in the Bank?
Money. Just like Survivor Series too. Like on paper, he wants to be a banger, and there was some good stuff here. But again, it's just another continuation of the Bloodline. Decent cash-ins, and we'll see where they end up going. We still got Tiffany threatening it here. This is the better Zayn and Breaker match. This is better than the SummerSlam match. So there's some good stuff here as well.
Yeah. All right. So that was number 7.
And number 7 is Money in the Bank. There you go, Jacob.
We're going for number 6.
And then the last one before the top 5. Yeah.
And for number 6, I have Bad Blood. Pez?
I'm right there with you. Bad Blood.
JPO?
SummerSlam.
Richie?
I'm being serious. I actually switched them in my head because I was like, I really only remember the CM Punk Drew thing from Bad Blood, so I'm gonna go Bad Blood.
That was going to be my point as we get to the thoughts. I'll talk about that in just a second.
Yeah. No, that's my thoughts. Also, but
do you really remember anything from Bad Blood other than the Hell in a Cell? Be honest.
No, but I thought that Hell in a Cell. Exactly, but I thought that Hell in a Cell.
No, that's the point.
Good
that's the point. That's the point of my thoughts on this is that everything else was unmemorable, but this pay-per-view had a legitimate match of the year, like 5-star candidate, and that's what elevates it and made the show memorable because we all remember the Hell in a Cell of Bad Blood, and that elevates it when that match is that good. The rest of these that we've had in the above this one or below, whatever you want to call it, on the top, didn't have that like match of the year banger, and like this one did, and then the rest of the show was still fine as we've been talking about with like a decent crowd and all that, but it had that match, it had that one match that elevated it. So that's the point, is that it had, and then even then you had that main event, you had another kind of Bloodline multi-man match, but you had The Rock at the end, like you had some stuff going on, some interference, so like you had some stuff going on with the the storylines and whatnot, and then you still had a decent like Damian Finn match, like a couple of decent things on there, but it had a match of the year candidate. That's the key there, but also why it doesn't make the top 5, Jacob, in my opinion. Just outside of that.
It's just outside. I have it just below. I have it at 8, just behind King and Queen and Bash and Berlin. But
I had it at 7.
It's one of those where they're interchangeable. Like I feel like I could put it in any one of those spots and be fine. because the Hell in a Cell match is that good. I thought Rhea and Liv, with Dom in the shark cage, I thought it had, a couple fun moments, but that ending was just so clunky, where they had a finish plan and then they had to, pivot because the referee wasn't in the right position or whatever, and then she still tries to put Liv over Rhea for whatever reason. And then the main event, I thought it was fine. The Rock coming back, of course, is going to be, a memorable moment. He's the Rock, that pop. It always hits. But yeah, no, it's elevated by that Hell in a Cell match, which is a legitimate match of the year candidate, and I think we'll be talking about that match again on a later show that we like to call the Lonelies. And quick side note: if you want to help vote for the Lonelies, stay tuned. We'll talk about that probably. I don't know if we'll talk about it tonight. We're running a little later than I think we had planned on, but at some point we will talk about the Lonelies.
We'll just have to spend less than 10 minutes on each of these rankings going forward. Just kind of run through them quickly.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts. Pez, you got any more thoughts on?
No. I already said my piece. So
right.
JPO, Bad Blood.
Thoughts on Bad Blood?
We got Bad Blood. Yeah, no, I mean, I knew Pez's stance was going to be give me something that's memorable outside of Punk and Drew, but that's why I had a little bit higher too, because that match is next level, truly next level here, and everything else is fine. You got Solo and Jacob tag team in here, another chapter in Ripley and Liv. So yeah, a lot of it didn't necessarily live up to it, but one surpassed it. This was the Punk and Drew match that we had wanted all along.
Yeah. The ref annoyed me in the shark cage match too. He was like, "Oh, can I hit him with the cane?" And the ref's like, "Yeah, go ahead, you deserve it." No, you can't say that. You can't do that.
What is this? The NFL and the Kansas City Chiefs? What kind of collaboration is going on here? What in the rigged NFL is going on here? That's a foosball reference for anybody who knows that.
Oh, the Chiefs should be 8-5 at best. But Ricky, your thoughts on Bad Blood?
Boy, did the fucking Bills expose them a few weeks ago. Jesus
right?
Christ! Holy shit! I hope they get their asses kicked in the playoffs by them and the Lions. Anyways, fuck them.
Yeah. I kind of when I was reading it's just like the Hell in a Cell is great. I love Hell in a Cell. Good cap off to the feud. But beyond that, Shark Cage match is fine. Beyond the spot where I thought Dom was about to fall to his death or get seriously hurt. But I don't know. It was other than that, it's just a beyond that, it's just a show. But so I think, if you have like a match of the year candidate, you've got to at least be in that echelon or maybe the top 5 or just below. You can't be like a bottom tier because you've got a match of the year candidate on your on your mantle. It's probably like the best, one of the best WWE matches like had this year. I mean, we'll get to it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the match of the year candidates probably be kind of maybe be AEW centric, maybe, but we'll see what happens.
So now we're getting into the top 5. Pez, what do you have at number 5?
Royal Rumble is my number 5. I had to vote.
JPO.
SummerSlam.
Richie.
I'll go Royal Rumble as well.
Fuck. SummerSlam.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think we can kind of make this a Survivor Series thing where JPO has been voting for SummerSlam.
And Richie was voting for SummerSlam.
Richie
so
was.
I was just like,
okay with that.
All right, fine. I have it higher, but all right. I'll make my case. I'll make my case when we get there.
Well, no, yeah, I mean, by all means, because you get to give your thoughts first.
No, I mean, look, SummerSlam, I had it at number 3. I thought this was like one of my favorite ones of the year. And I remember even when I watched it, just being like, holy crap, that was an amazing show. And again, from a storytelling perspective, both from wrapping up storylines, but also kicking off new storylines, I thought start to finish, this show was brilliant in doing that. And I thought it was one of the highlights of the year with, again, getting the Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley stuff going for that. You had Braun Breaker. Like, it was a quick match, but, winning, getting his big win, at SummerSlam, finally winning that IC title. I thought LA Knight Logan Paul was like a show stealer. I thought that match was great. I loved that match. I thought it was awesome. And again, made my case of why I thought Logan is one of the better guys, on the roster. Nia and Bayley was surprisingly good. One of the better Nia matches of the year. Drew and Punk was very good with Seth Rollins as the ref. So a lot of great storytelling in that one with those feuds. Gunther Damian Priest, still one of my favorite matches of the year, just from a nice meaty match. One of my favorite meaty matches of the year, and I thought it was a lot of fun, and it got the crowd really into it. And then Cody and Solo, Bloodline rules, fine, a little too long, but still a decent capper and keeping that feud going. So again, top to bottom, I didn't have a single clunker on this match or on the show, I should say. And again, from a storytelling perspective, I thought one of the best storytelling pay-per-views of the year, and had a personal match of the year candidate for me with Gunther and Damian. So that boosted a lot for me personally, Jacob.
That's totally fair. JPO, your thoughts on SummerSlam? You've been voting for it for a while, so
yeah.
Hey, we got it now. I on paper, this one seemed good. Like I was they're building up a nice SummerSlam here. I thought the main event was just fine. I didn't love the main event. I thought it was just good. Gunther versus Priest again. I liked it. I did like it. So I didn't mind that one here too much here. Drew versus Punk was, again, it was the first chapter. They knew they were saving it for later. That was a bit underwhelming just compared to what else was on the board here. Not bad, but number 5 for me here. Well, actually, even lower for me.
Yeah, Richie?
Yeah, I sort of had, I was having it a bit lower initially because I was like, well, beyond the Damian Priest thing, what else do I remember? And then I'm like, but then I looked it up here and I was like, oh, actually, it's a good, decent card. So I remember I do remember now this is the card with Logan Paul and LA Knight. They had a great match. I remember that scary superplex spot. I thought Logan Paul really died. I was like, holy shit. I think there was a couple of times where there was a couple of screw shots, but they had good chemistry. It was really actually a decent feud in the day. I wonder how that lawsuit's going, because didn't Logan Paul sue? He sued LA Knight in China. They should have aired that court case. It would have been actually a fun story if they actually aired that court case. Yeah, I don't know. And then Gunther Damian Priest was that was big meaty match, and just Damian Priest making Gunther bleed really. That was good. That's sort of my thing. Big meaty matches. Yeah, me and Bez over that. Coming there. And then the Punk Drew, while I have better matches, the first matches of the feud, but again, it's sort of planting the seeds for what will probably get down the road, which is CM Punk and Seth Rollins at the Raw on possibly the Raw on Netflix, but I also wouldn't count it out being at Mania in some capacity as well. So there was good storytelling here. So yeah, I regret having it, but I'm not on the ball on this round. But I don't know. It's my memory is weird. Like I can remember how long a movie runs for, and what happens in a movie in the 90s, but I can't remember what happened yesterday.
That's called getting old. We I forget what I had for lunch yesterday. It seems so insignificant. The day after you're just like, what? All right. I seriously, there's things like. Remember in Inside Out, the first one, where there's those scenes where those random guys are rolling through the brain, sucking up the insignificant balls of memories, just being like, she don't need that anymore. She don't need that anymore. That random day where nothing happened, get rid of that. I think there's certain things like that in life where you're just like, your brain doesn't need that anymore. We'll just delete that file.
Well, even playing Seen and Heard, you showed a clip where I was like, I haven't seen the movie in 15 years, but I know right away. And then you showed a clip from Watchers.
This year. This year, you're just like, what?
I saw it a month ago. What the fuck was that called?
Yeah,
Lookers. Don't go outside. What is that called?
Yeah, that's what it is.
No, I really enjoyed SummerSlam. Yeah, I have a top 5. I have it at 5. It's one of those where my 5, 4, and 3 could also be interchangeable. My 1 and 2 are my 1 and 2.
Same here. Same
But
here.
yeah, no, I do agree with what you're saying, Pez. I thought there was a lot of good storytelling. I think like I had to like nitpick when I was doing my rankings, like so to do these placements. So like I kind of wish Braun and Sammy was a little bit longer because I mean we already saw that Sammy could hang with Braun. He beat him. So if that's how you're going to take the title off Sammy, I kind of wish they would have just done that at the pay-per-view earlier. And then the Bloodline Rules match, we saw something similar 4 months earlier. So like again, I'm nitpicking to place these things, but there was a lot of good stuff on the card. So SummerSlam, number 5. Move on to number 4. JPO, what do you have for number 4?
Alrighty, next up we got Backlash.
Ooh. Richie.
Spoiler out, Backlash quite high. I'll go Royal Rumble.
I have WrestleMania Night 1. Pez.
Sticking with the Rumble, so that'll make it number 4.
Royal Rumble will be number 4. JPO, your thoughts on the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Rumble guy. I love the Rumble here. I thought we had a decent one this year. You know, obviously short card, 4 matches in and out. You know, we had a fun 4-way predictability. Yeah, no one thinking Roman's going to drop the title before Mania. But they put together, I thought, a fun match here. I enjoyed I enjoyed Liv winning the Rumble.
No, she didn't.
I'm sorry, who won the Rumble?
Bayley.
Bayley. Duh. I enjoyed who won the Rumble. That doesn't change. So Bayley getting her moment was pretty sweet. You know, Cody doing it twice. Maybe that was just a matter of like, you know, okay, we're doing it again, but still not bad. I think they booked it out pretty well. So fun show overall.
That could have also been because of the CM Punk injury. We're not quite sure about that. That could have been an on-the-fly decision. We don't know. They still haven't really been clear about that. whether Cody winning was actually part of the plan or that was because Punk got injured in the middle of the match. Still don't know.
Richie, your thoughts on the Rumble?
Yeah, I think I liked both Rumbles enough. I sometimes I think maybe with Rumbles we sort of work ourselves into a shoot a bit. We're like, oh, who's going to be surprised? And I don't feel like there was like there have been a lot of them like this time around. Yeah, like it was cool seeing Bayley sort of get her moment here. I feel bad for Liv because Liv was like, I think Liv's been like the last person in like twice in a row now. She's won the title now, so she'll probably still be champion by the time Rowan comes on, so she probably won't be in the Rumble this year. But one year, I think she'll probably actually, be the bride, not the bridesmaid. The men's one was good, but yeah, I mean, Cody winning it back to back was a surprise. I remember I was going for like Gunther. I was pretty confident in that. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed, but I get it for where they were going. Or where they thought that, where I thought they were going, and then a bit of a scare, and then they're going that way again. So it was a good show, and then I forgot about the Fatal 4-Way, and that was good. But so yeah, but it was a good show, but yeah, just.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Rumble. I thought the Women's Rumble was fantastic. So some nice surprises. Jordan Grace entering from TNA. We're kind of like, oh, okay, and then we were all starting to speculate, like, oh, could they have anyone in the Men's Rumble? And they didn't, which was kind of a disappointment. But again, that's on me for setting those expectations.
I do think we'll get at least one TNA person this year. I mean, I think
so too.
I think we've all kind of predicted. I think Joe Hendry would be a pretty great lock.
Oh yeah, I think
that guy and like getting the crowd to sing along with even just for the crowd interaction. I think
number 1 or 2. Yeah,
that would be yeah. He doesn't have to be in there super long. I'm not expecting him to run the marathon, but I think them cutting to the entrance and him doing the spin around, turn around thing with the number would be pretty great. Like a great moment.
Yeah,
it's really memorable. So I think that's a pretty good lock that he'll at least be in there.
Yeah. Naomi returning, I thought was great. Jade Cargill debuting, I thought she looked good. The 4-way, predictable. Roman Reigns isn't losing before WrestleMania. We kind of all saw that. I thought Logan Paul and Kevin Owens was a fun match, even though, I DQ finishes on the pay-per-view. I'm still like, fine. But I thought what we got in between that was great. I thought the men's rumble was really good. I thought CM Punk looked good. I was pulling for a Gunther win, and he was in there till the end. I think he was the last one eliminated before Punk. Cody winning was a nice surprise. I think we all had CM Punk winning, so anytime there's a swerve like that, like it kind of elevates it a little bit, because I like when I don't see it coming. And
hey, talking about not seeing it coming though, I don't know who the fuck's gonna win the Rumble this year.
I love that.
I think you can legitimately make a case for 5, 6, 7 different guys winning the Rumble this year, and I have no clue who's going to win the Rumble this year. I don't think there's a clear. Sometimes there's a clear, obvious winner. Some years, or at least 1 or 2 people. You can kind of bounce back and forth, but I don't have a damn clue who's going to win the Rumble this year. No idea.
If Gunther loses the title on Saturday, he's my pick. If he doesn't lose the title, then I'm not sure.
I don't even know, dude. Yeah. I don't know. Was this also the Rumble where R-Truth tried to get the women's one and then finally came out for the correct one later?
Yeah. And there was one he finally one year he came out to the men's one and he got beat up by Nia Jax, who did himself with the men's one. He's had an interesting time. And then wasn't that clip that got pulled from the Royal Rumble where he thought it was the Money in the Bank and he brought it out.
That was the one I went to, the 2016 one where he brought the ladder out, and he tried to climb the ladder. And then the contrast to that in the Money in the Bank where he went for the hot tag in the Money in the Bank match. That was or in the ladder match, I mean, but yeah.
Pez, your thoughts on
that? No, I mean, not much to add. I mean, I just thought both the Rumbles were solid. And Cody winning, I wasn't necessarily against it. It was just, something I didn't necessarily bet on. Maybe a lack of surprises here or there, but, maybe that's on us for always expecting there to be, 10 surprises in the Rumble and, not always the case. That's all right. The women's one had some stuff. Again, just the other 2 matches were solid too. Logan and Owens and the 4-way were both fun. So, I mean, it was a show that just moved on along in a good clip and just worked for me all around. So, you have to work really, really hard for me to not like the Rumble shows. You know what I mean?
Right,
you gotta be really, really shitty to have bad.
The 2022 Royal Rumble, which was fucking worst Rumble.
I think that, and then the 40-man Royal Rumble.
That was bad. That one was just slow because it was just too long. I mean, I've rarely disliked a Rumble. You know what I mean? They're all pretty fun. I go back and watch a whole slew of them every year, and they're a lot of fun. So, I mean, you got to go back to like 95, 96, like some of those, mid-90s ones to really go to ones where I just feel like they're a slog.
Yeah, that one that's just over 30 minutes is... All right, that was number 4. Richie, what do you got for number 3?
I think this is where I'll go WrestleMania Night 2.
Oh, I'm sticking with WrestleMania Night 1.
Mania numero uno.
And JPO.
Backlash.
But it'll be Mania Night 1. Richie, your thoughts on the first night of WrestleMania?
It's no... I love both nights. It's like sometimes it's hard to distinguish, but like I really do. I thought that like WrestleMania this year was like solid. It wasn't like it wasn't like one that was like gonna like that. It was like it's not like the night one in my opinion was like head and shoulders above. Like 2, it was I think they were all really, really good. I just think that I don't know. I just got more sort of out of night 1, I guess. With like, I thought Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch was really good. then like I don't know, man. Maybe because I'm biased, I thought, and because I'm just going to put out there, I nailed this prediction because they did the deal where it's like, okay, well, if one person gets the Raw tag, that's where they unify the tag titles. So it's like if one person gets the Raw one and the Raw tag, and so I'm like, I got them both right. You know, the Awesome Truth and 8 Time Down Under both won. I'm like, yeah, that secured me the victory. So maybe that bias maybe puts it over for me. You know, and I think the only thing, okay, maybe the only thing that like, you know, you could argue puts it down is the disappointing Usos match. But like, beyond that, I think like, you know, Sammy and Gunther was fantastic, and I think like the bloodline, seeing The Rock there, I think man that was really entertaining. I thought The Rock still looked good, you know, and they made the most of him. So yeah, I don't know. It's ever so slightly. I like it better, but you know, I understand why Night 2 is higher up than you guys. That's what we do.
Yeah, no, I thought WrestleMania Night 1 solid. Obviously, I have it in my top 5. I thought we started off really strong. You know, Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, and then that tag team ladder match was really good as well. It was a lot of fun. Seeing Awesome Truth, seeing R-Truth get a title win on WrestleMania was just, I think a lot of people enjoyed that. But then these next 3. Ray and Andrade defeating Santos Escobar and Dominic because of outside interference. Like your faces should not be winning because of outside interference by football players who have no connection whatsoever to the team that's winning. Whatever.
When people look, I've always said when people take their mask or their helmet off and I don't know who they are, that's a bad thing. It's bad.
And sure, the city of Philadelphia might know, but this is a worldwide audience. Like there's people from all over.
Well, same with one of those Logan matches where the dude took it off and it was like, "Oh, it's I Show Spy."
It's the same.
Whatever the fuck his name is, I don't know who that is, so that doesn't mean shit to me. So that's I should know who it is when they take their mask or their whatever off. You know, if I don't know, that's stupid. That's a waste. Like I need to know who they are.
I felt a 50-year-old Michael Cole was like, "That's IHO Speed." No, I don't know this.
I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't watch every show on YouTube.
Jay and Jimmy, probably the most disappointing match of the weekend. It should have been a lot better than it was. Jade, Bianca, Naomi defeating Damage Control. Of course they are. You're not going to have Jade lose in her first match. Besides the Rumble. Then it got better. Yeah, Sammy and Gunther was really good. The Rock and Reigns versus Cody and Rollins, while really good, a little bit too long. However, I loved The Rock running his mouth the entire time and just not caring at all because, like, what are they going to do what are you going to do to The Rock? He can say whatever he wants. So that made it a little bit more entertaining. So yeah, just that middle chunk just kind of brought it down for me behind Night 2. But yeah, we'll get to Night 2 in a few moments, I'm sure. Pez, your thoughts on Night 1?
No, I mean, this is I think where the show started and ended strong, and I think that's important for a pay-per-view. I think you can have a little bit of low points in the middle, but if you start strong and you end strong, I think you're good. And like I said, we started strong, good openers between the Rhea match and the ladder matches, so you at least got things hot and got things going. You ended strong with Sammy and Gunther and the Bloodline stuff. I like that main event. I thought everybody kind of played their roles perfectly in that match. I didn't mind the longer pace because you worked around The Rock, and I thought he was perfect in the match. Like for what he needed to do, for what I thought he was great. So yeah, I mean, you can have a little lull in the middle. Unfortunately, the Usos turned out to be more like Matt and Jeff Hardy rather than Edge and Christian. Yeah, I mean, in that they're better as a tag team than going against each other. I don't think Matt and Jeff ever had a great match against each other, but they're a great tag team. I think it's kind of the same thing with the Usos. I'm sorry, they just don't have the chemistry when they're facing off one-on-one. But hey, as a tag team, they're great, aren't they? They're awesome. Really it's just maybe it's just one of those things where it just doesn't quite click. Edge and Christian always had great stuff against each other. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It just is what it is. The brother thing. Mark and Jay Briscoe have great matches against each other and are a great tag team. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It is what it is. So maybe we learned our lesson. We're not going to do that again. So yeah, it goes to just a greater Mania where I thought the whole WrestleMania as a whole was really entertaining. I just slightly thought Night 2 had a few more memories, that sort of thing. Just memorable moments. So that's all.
Yeah. JPO?
I thought Mania did really good this year. I like both Manias. Obviously, they're high for me. We're talking night 1 right now, right?
Night 1.
Yeah. And no, I just said some good stuff as well. As you mentioned, the disappointing Uso match here that we never got the sequel to probably because of this. But no, Zayn versus Gunther, Mania-worthy match here. Opener, Ripley Lynch, Mania-worthy match. And then, main event was a lot of fun. Getting to see The Rock in the ring. Bloodline Rock's been fun. Good night 1, night 2 booking. You don't always get that. I like this one a lot.
Can't wait to get a little more Final Boss Rock here soon. I think we're gonna get him sooner than later. I would say Netflix is a pretty good shot that we'll get him on there, and then maybe get him starting to ramp. Now that we're getting into more kind of road to WrestleMania, I think you'll see a lot more of him. I enjoyed his work last year as Final Boss Rock. I thought it was a great blend of like Hollywood heel rock and like with a little new twist to it. I'm really enjoying everything he's doing in the ring. So I didn't even hate Red One. I thought Red One was better than I thought it would be. So it's just me. I know Richie disagrees, but I thought it was more entertaining than I had any right to be, actually. So yeah, not saying it's one of my favorites of the year and any of that. Just saying I have rock bottom expectations for that thing, Waka Waka, and I thought it was better than I thought it would be. So yeah.
All right. So that's number 3. So now we're voting for number 1.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna
vote for number 1. I'll let you finish before I reveal my number 1. My number 1 is Backlash. Pez?
My number 1 is Mania 2, Mania Night 2.
JPO?
Mania 2, baby.
And Richie?
Mania 2.
All right. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I was, like I said, it was really close. So Backlash will be number 2. Mania Night 2 will be number 1. We'll talk about Backlash first, obviously. I thought the crowd was great. I think it was one of the best crowds we've had in a while. I thought they were a lot of fun. We had an awesome match between Cody and AJ. I think it's the first 5-star match in WWE, not on the main roster since WrestleMania the year before. With that triple threat. I thought the triple threat between the women was a lot of fun. We had a fun tag team street fight. Kicking the show off with that, I thought was fantastic because it wasn't booked as a street fight, but it's like, all right, you guys want to do this? Then let's do this. We're gonna do it, as a street fight. I thought we had a fun women's tag team match. Damian Priest and Jey Uso, I thought they worked really well together. I really liked their match. The triple threat with Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton, I thought was a lot of fun. I think Tiffany is a hell of a performer, hell of a character. I just think top to bottom, again, this is one where there's no clunker for me. I thought it was just a really fun show, really fun crowd, and you top it off with a fantastic main event. I think, and I thought the show flowed really well too. Like it's probably this close between Backlash and the second night of WrestleMania for me. It was just which one had. It was like, what was that match that I'm probably gonna put on, an end of the year list? And it's Cody and AJ, and I think that's kind of what tipped it for me. So yeah, that's why I had Backlash a little bit over WrestleMania Night 2, but I'll talk about WrestleMania Night 2 when we get to it. Pez, thoughts on Backlash?
Yeah. No, I mean, it was my number 2, so I mean, it's right up there. You know, I mean, that's like no shine against it. You know, it's great. It's like everything we talked about. It's like a good show made great because of the crowd, and again, a great run back of what was our big surprise last year, Backlash in Puerto Rico, because of the crowd. You know, and making everything better, and that just shows you what a great lava hot crowd can do to a show and really elevate it when they're into everybody, when they're singing along the songs, when they're doing the thing. I mean, holy shit, I can't tell you how many times I watched Jey Uso's entrance from France over and over again, dude, with everybody doing the lights on their phones and like, you know, just all, it's great. Like I all that stuff was made it super memorable. Yeah, really good matches. Again, a good strong start and a good close. So that certainly helps. But yeah, I mean, that's what kind of, you know, everybody came out as being like, hey, if you missed the show, like, if anything, just go watch it for the crowd. You know, people talking online, just be like, hey, go watch the show for the crowd. And like, it was great. I will say the only thing that my minor nitpick about the crowd, I thought that the 2 count thing they did after every single 2 count got a little old by the end of the show. I thought that got a little old by the end of the show. I was a little done with that, but you know, it's like, do you guys gotta do that every time? All right. But other than that, like, it was still really fun, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. JPO, your thoughts on Backlash?
No, it's a solid show. I think, you know, this kind of comes down to moments or matches, because yeah, Cody versus AJ did not disappoint. This felt like this could have been in Ring of Honor or TNA, whatever. Like, you know, this is a workhorse, great match here. I think, you know, the only thing that takes me back from it is moments and memories. And while it was a really great match, it was also an obvious prediction. And for Cody, he's not going to lose after just defeating Roman. And I just thought there was just Mania 2 just was memorable, which is why, you know, that topples it for me here. But Backlash was fun, like you said. Good crowd here. I hope they go back.
Yeah, me too. Richie.
Yeah, the crowd was electric. I thought it was really good. But yeah, beyond that, it's a really good show. I thought what turned into a street fight was great. Good storytelling in the match. Yeah, Cody and AJ was great, and yeah, it was good to see Tiffany in the triple threat, like getting a moment to shine, sort of break through here. I just thought it was a really, this really like a solid show. And yeah, that Jey Uso entrance was great. I mean the 2 count thing did get a bit super dragony a bit, but like, I guess, you know, not entirely great comparison considering they're all joining in, but still, it's it did get like, I thought maybe the steam would run out a bit, but I think the crowd meter is actually is good because it kind of helps, like, you know, people get involved and stuff. Like, they're not the difference between like crowds and like maybe like 2019 and like now it's not in day. I used to get like so annoyed, like when you take me out of Raw or whatever show I'm watching, when, like, you know, what you're watching is not necessarily that bad necessarily, but the crowd is just, but they could be empty seats for you, know. So it's good to see something.
I'll certainly take it over. Yeah, these crowds where literally the crowds that act like they're being sitting there by gunpoint, you know, like they're being forced to watch wrestling, you know, and like not reacting at all. It's like, did you guys pay to watch wrestling tonight? Yeah, like why what are you doing? Like, do you have better places to be? Like, I just don't understand that. I've definitely been at shows where I'm just like, are y'all like y'all just not like wrestling? What are you doing here? Like, you do know it's wrestling tonight, right?
You're not watching on TV, you know, you can.
Yeah, you can react and have fun. Like, I'm here to have fun.
There's a couple of things like that. Oh, man. But yeah, so I'm glad sort of seems to be behind us. But yeah, but yeah, I feel like the French crowd sort of set the bar a bit, where it's like, you got to get louder than that. And then, like, I think they tried the Toronto crowd at Survivor Series. Like, they did the crowd meter. I'm like, they're not gonna get as loud as that.
I don't believe that crowdometer sometimes, though. I don't buy it. 100%. No, I think that's bullshit. That's a total work. So yeah, it's like, no, this during this entrance was not as loud as, you know, fucking France singing Randy Orton song. You know what I mean? Like, not the same. Like, or whatever. Fuck yeah, no.
Yeah,
not even, or sing Cody song or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, really, really good show.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, that's Backlash at number 2, which means
I'm
number
excited to
1.
see. I would imagine probably in the next month we'll get an announcement of where Backlash is going to be this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to another European country or something like that. You know what I mean? Or international location.
Italy.
I know. I've heard rumors about Italy. Italy might be a good shot.
Italy would be fine. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. It'll give the
Greece
Italian
and
I either next year or the year after. I think they need to run a full-on POE in Japan. They just need to get in the Japanese market. Run, and you don't have to run it in Tokyo. You can run it in Osaka. One of the other major cities, things like that. And just get just as hot of a crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
So
are they going to give a push to Giovanni Vinci if they're going to go to Italy, because he's basically he couldn't be more of a jobber now. He's the jobbiest of jobbers.
But yeah, so number 1 will be WrestleMania Night 2. Pez, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, just a really, really solid show from top to bottom. I just thought, really just pure entertainment. I didn't think there was a single dud on this from what I can remember. Because Drew and Seth with the cash in at the end, all that stuff was great from start to finish. You know what I mean? The match was good. The stuff with CM Punk goading him into the cash, all that was great. And then the actual cash in was fun. Really, really entertaining from start to finish. And then the street fight was silly, but you had Snoop Dogg on commentary having a lot of fun with that one. Just calling it like a hood fight and all this stuff and just doing his thing. He's having fun. So that elevated it. I thought LA Knight and AJ had a nice little match that got kind of lost in the shuffle, but they had some good stuff. Again, another great Logan Paul match. I'm probably his biggest fan as far as WWE goes, but he looked good in the three-way, fun three-way there. Bailey and Io is good, and of course, what's there to say about Cody and Roman? I mean, it's fairly predictable. Cody finishing his story here, but they went all out, goddammit, didn't they? You know what I mean? With all the different people popping up and Taker and Rock, everybody doing their thing, and little Seth Rollins in there. Would I have or would I have predicted or maybe preferred Stone Cold instead of Undertaker? Yes, but Undertaker's still great. You know what I mean?
Apparently they did over it to him. They just
I just thought it would have made a little more sense with Rock and Austin's history at WrestleMania having 3 matches in the past. But I just thought that made a little more when I think of Rock and Undertaker, I can't think of a single one of their singles matches that stands out in my mind. I think Rock and Austin makes a little more sense if he had just stunned him instead. You know what I mean? And with that night, maybe I'm biased, Richie. I want to see Rock sell a stunner one more time, doing his little backflip thing that he always does. I always thought that was always fun when he would do that. But it's just me personally. But still, Undertaker's great, so I'm not taking it away from him. But but just fun all around. Yes, there's a lot of shenanigans and what Jacob doesn't like, a bunch of interference in a big match. But what are you gonna do? It was Bloodline rules, so it was all legal at least.
When it works though.
It was at least legal, and it all works, and it made for some amazing memories, and everybody's still talking about it. So it just is what it is. The show felt properly epic to really kick off the Triple H era, which I think is why it kind of has to be number 1. It was truly his first really, really big show, in his era, and I think he delivered at least a very memorable show.
Yeah, JPO.
That main event is so overbooked, so overbloated, in the most perfect of ways. It's a lot of fun. I agree with the Taker thing, but still, it's Taker. I'm not going to complain too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's names that would have made more sense, but you kind of work with what you kind of got. And then otherwise, and we got the moments, man. We got the moments we wanted. We got Cody, being cheered by the roster. Randy Orton look at him like a proud papa. We had Mama Cody, Mama Rhodes in the ring, getting to hold that belt, finishing the goddamn story that took too long to finish, but we finally finished it. Just thought it was great here. Bailey had her moment earlier here. We also start the night with the Priest cash in. First time we've had a cash in since Rollins. That's pretty dope. This book ended it in such a perfect way. This felt like a Mania, and it felt good.
Mm-hmm.
Richie.
Yeah, there's nothing really negative here. I mean, any other thing to think of. I totally think, remember when Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits were called the Pride?
That'll be a future thing. That would be a future wrestling trivia question. Yeah. What were they called for that period?
Profit stable name for 3.5 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the highlight of that match is Snoop Dogg. Like you can actually see back behind the announceur footage of like he's just cracking Corey Graves and Michael Cole up. You got the picnic basket. You're on a picnic table. He's really funny dude. Yeah, but the great Cody Roman match. We all kind of hoped expected that Cody finally finished the story, but we weren't sure considering he didn't last time. But
that's because Vince was still there. That's why.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was still there, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
But no, this was fun, and yeah, like all the interference and John Cena and his receding hairline. No, but yeah, it was fun. I was still seeing Rock giving the Rock bottom of Cena too. I was like, kind of a capture their sort of feud. So no, it was it was a great show, and a good cap off. And look, I think reviewing the pay-per-views next year is going to be interesting because bring up 14, might we? Because SummerSlam's going to be 2 nights. So yeah,
to make up for them not getting to WrestleMania.
Maybe tag matches will finally get on a PLE if SummerSlam is 2 nights. I guess don't hold our breath though. I'll go from 5 matches to 10 matches, and they still won't squeeze a tag match in there.
They will. The women's tag. You're like,
You have 2 more women's titles to book now. But I have no issue with night 2 being at number 1. I think Cody finishing the story. Yeah, it was epic. When the interference is, when it makes sense, storyline wise, match wise, like I'm totally cool with it. When your interference is illegal and it's on the pay-per-view and we don't get a definitive finish, whatever. It totally makes sense, like JPO said. Overbooked, overbloated in the most perfect way possible. It was really good. The reason I had it at number 2 is where
because you hated it and you thought it was horrible.
I hated it. I thought it was horrible.
Awful. Worst show here.
No, whereas for Backlash, I don't think there's anything I'd skip. For night 2, I might consider skipping the Pride versus Final Testament. I thought it was okay. I thought Bubba getting involved was kind of, again, kind of my same issue with the tag team match the night before. Like I don't want to see someone interfere on the face's behalf. Like that's not face behavior in my opinion. And I don't think a referee should be getting involved anyway, unless again the story makes sense for it. None of us knew Bubba was going to be the referee for this match. Was it a fun moment? Yes. Was Snoop Dogg fun on commentary? Yes. So like I said, I would consider skipping it, but I would probably still watch it because Snoop Dogg was so much fun on commentary, and I would love to listen to that again. But no, yeah. Bayley had her moment defeating Io Sky for the championship, starting her reign. There's really a lot to love about this pay-per-view. So yeah, I have no problem with it being number 1. So that's our list. Pez, do you want to run it down?
Yeah, I'll run it down. I got it right here for you on the little banners here. We got number 13 is going to be Crown Jewel from Saudi Arabia. Number 12 is going to be Australia's Elimination Chamber. Number 11, a little more Saudi with the King and Queen of the Ring. Number 10, the slightly disappointing, but still all right, Bash in Berlin. Number 9, we got Survivor Series War Games coming in there. Number 8, this year's Clash at the Castle. Number 7, the Money in the Bank. Number 6, Bad Blood, right outside the top 5 in our top 5 of SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and it makes sense. A lot of the big ones here actually did deliver, in our opinions. SummerSlam, Royal Rumble. You got WrestleMania Night 1, much like last year. Backlash making it up there with that heavy crowd, helping it out there, and then WrestleMania Night 2 and the epic Cody finishing story at number 1.
Yeah, it just shows how strong they started the year off. Other than Elimination Chamber because you got Royal Rumble both nights of WrestleMania and Backlash all in the.
Well, and again, some of those big pay-per-views, if they're delivering, that's good, at least story-wise, and delivering those moments, and at least being, some of the more entertaining ones of the year. Backlash becoming a quick tradition of, hey, they keep it up next year? Yeah, let's see where they go. See if they could, deliver again with the crowd. Yeah, whoever is going there, you got a task ahead of you to line up with Puerto Rico and France at those crowds. So, hope you can deliver, whatever it is.
Yeah, but this was a lot of fun. There weren't very many. Like there were a couple, I think, 3-1s, but not very. No unanimous choices. I mean, we tied on a couple of them, so that it was really interesting to see, how we ranked them. So who knows? Maybe we'll do this again next year. This might become a thing. I don't know. We'll see. But it is getting late. This was a little bit longer than normal. JPO plugs. What do you got?
Hey, y'all. When I'm not talking with the other lonelies here Thursdays, catch me over at the Piersco. We do some movie trivia tomorrow night at 10 if anyone's available. Also, we got countdowns, other shenanigans here Thursdays, the call-in show. We review stuff. And then also we got Pierce Wrestling Channel. Real Pro Wrestling will have some stuff uploaded as well pretty soon. And maybe the TNA World Champion footage in a month. Hey. I just got drafted the trios over at Multiplex. Me, Brittany, and I just said 2/3. We got my third same thing.
Is it Mike Campbell?
Martin or Mike, we're gonna rule things, even though I forgot your name. So can't wait to win that trios tournament. Yeah.
Oh, we just lost a viewer.
He's Richie, like, I was here for my teammate that I respected
that. Richie, you got anything going on?
I've never seen you do that sad face. That was pointing, but also, I felt bad for you. God, don't. Jesus. Oh God.
I'm Jory Downer. Even cats get cancer.
Well, we'll have movies every bi-weekly next week. Yeah. So next week we'll be doing V for Vendetta. Joined by Michael Wolfman Wyndham, and so it should be fun. And
just don't get hoodwinked.
Oh, I knew you were going to bring that up. I'll be on. I think one of the tournament fights. Leave. Is it tomorrow? The holiday. One of the holiday.
Tomorrow's the fourth part of the holiday. Those have been some wacky tournaments. We've been having a goofy good time with some of those because there's some wacky shit in there. The other one was very, very wacky.
I like a good wacky tournament. So
I put up this graphic a lot the other night. Let's just put it that way. So
like a good old wacky tournament. I called into long time first time. I called in today with a movie no one hadn't heard of called The Courier with Benedict Cumberbatch. Go watch it. It's alright. Other than that, I'm around doing trivia here and there.
Hey, JPO, you know what's better than Hoodwinked? Hoodwinked 2.
That's not true. No one says that.
Good versus evil.
That first one, though.
No, no, you know what? You're right, JPO. We should just erase Hoodwinked 2. I'm sorry. Plugs. Tomorrow night, me and JPO will be duking it out in Lights Out 9:15 Eastern. We will be there right before ASAT. So watch us duke it out.
tag team champion is letting Barber face him.
Yes. Which means if I win, then
You
nothing
and
happens.
Brandon are champs?
Nothing
Oh.
happens.
Okay.
It just I win. And then we'll be back next Thursday doing something. Talking more wrestling.
We're doing Thursday. If you didn't know, I wrote it down on my calendar here for the rest of the month. So I've got the topics. JPO, you're going to need us to find us a fifth because we're going to wrap up that rank up series of 2020 to now. The top 12 singles wrestlers from 2020 to now. So who are the current top 12? Who's the best of the decade so far? So JPO, find us a fifth, and we'll get us an extra Lonely Marks member because we're doing that rank up. We're wrapping that series up next week. We got to do it before Jacob skips out on us the week after, because the week after he's not going to be here, and nice and conveniently, because the week after, the day after Christmas, December to December. God damn it, we're doing it. We're going to do it. My winning thing. We didn't do it last year. I teased you with it. We're doing it this year, damn it. We're going to rewatch that show and rant about it all night. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And to be fair, I'm not skipping out because they're doing that show. They're doing that show because I'm not going to be there. They're doing it
because we need you for we need you for Rankum next week. We need all five of us here for Rankum. And then that one you cannot be here. But damn it, you two better be here. Damn it. Champion probably won't watch it, but he can at least do the cage match shit for that. So that's all right. Me and Richie will rant about it. You can give us the cage match rundown. So
to be fair, it's one of those shows that's so bad. Like I remember a good chunk of it that I don't know if I'd have to rewatch.
The show that only had like what 1 or 2 matches announced going into it.
2 matches prior to the show.
2 matches announced prior to the show, and somehow they had to make it go. Hey, that show is only like 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's like 30 minutes shorter than every other pay-per-view. So, it's not as long, but maybe it'll feel longer. I don't know. We'll see.
And the Hardys versus Eminem, which both teams weren't on ECW at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pretty good match though. Like, it's weird going back and looking at those results because it's a 22-minute match and then 7, 6, 6 or something like that. But that's what we're doing here. But what else do you have going on?
Mostly stuff over on the Movie Hero Network. We'll be doing a Home Alone recast, so another recast sooner rather than later on the recast. Richie will be on there. It'll be a big episode. We're gonna have 5 people like we did for Ghostbusters because that's a very in-demand recast. So we don't mind doing that a little bit bigger for Home Alone. So that'll be Sunday night. It should be myself, George, Richie. Jonathan Caro, I believe, because he had it in 64, and Chris Scott. So that'll be interesting. It will be all over the place. I'm sticking with the 80s. I'm just going kind of an alternate 80s thing. I mean, it's 1990. I'm just going a little 80s with mine. I know, some other people are kind of going around the same time. But you can do whatever you want. But just fun.
If I do the wrestlers thing in the comments again,
yes,
I don't know who I'm going to pick for Kevin. Do I pick Nicholas or do I pick Hornswoggle?
Hornswoggle because he had that thing with Macaulay Culkin. Remember? Yeah, he did the thing. He did the sketch with Macaulay Culkin on Raw one time, didn't he? Yeah, I thought he did something with Macaulay Culkin on Raw.
I don't remember.
Just pick somebody who looks like a kid. I don't know. Pick like Dominic Mysterio from 2005 with that aloof look on his face, just looking, awkwardly at ringside. You can pick something. You can pick something hyper specific for that one, Jacob. It's fine.
Brody Lee.
For those who don't know what I'm referring to, they recently did a Die Hard recast, and in the comments, instead of picking actual people, I just decided to pick wrestlers.
Now, you did have a good idea. There's something we could do on Lonely Marks in a future episode, maybe not in the next month or two, just next time we have something maybe about 2 months from now. We could do a recast on here, but recast like a famous movie, but with all wrestlers and see what we come up with. But you can only cast wrestlers and their personalities and their characters and all that. And try to do that. That could be kind of fun as like a wrestling-centric thing. We'll pick something like, we can even do something we've done on recast before, just, pick wrestlers. Like, it doesn't matter. Just some really, really famous movie. And do something like that. I think that could be a lot of fun. But yeah, anyways, Home Alone recast, 1997 tournament next week. Like Rich said, we love movies for V for Vendetta next week. I mean, I got a loaded week because we're cramming all this shit in before the week of Christmas. So it's going to be like a very long week because I literally have almost nothing the week of Christmas till after it's over. So we're just getting all this crap in early. So it just is what it is. Very busy week.
Yeah. Yeah, I will also. I have a busy week the week of Christmas, just because I will be cramming as many 2024 movies as I can for
No,
the
I
end of
broke
the year.
through 100 finally, so I'm good on mine. Like now, it's just kind of supplementing that, getting some last minute stuff this month. But as far as that goes, on the Movie Hero Network in January will be a lot of 2024 stuff. So it'll be like 3 different podcasts. It'll be the 2024 tournament later in the month. Be a lot of stuff like JPO and Richie will be on a lot of those shows. We'll do our worst of show. We'll do our
currently, baby.
Oh yeah, we'll do our worst of show. We'll do our honorable mention like after the top 12 show and then leading up to our top 12 show. So we'll have a lot of stuff going on that month. So tune in and you can hear us all rant and rave about 2024 in the month of January. So
I'm at 60.
Maybe Jacob, if Jacob feels like it, maybe a podcast about movies will come back for one episode and we'll talk about 2024. If you feel like it, I'm no pressure, but if you feel like it, you want to yap about just random movies for 2024, we can do that too. So whatever you want to do.
Also, if you like action figures, Ringside Collectibles doing a 3rd Black Friday deal. Did I just buy some toys? Maybe because I'm a grown ass man.
That's right. Because JPO spends his time wisely. That's right.
Hell yeah.
And his money.
That's right.
Hey man, Smojo's like $6. I need a Smojo. What was it?
That Corey Delaney action figures I'm gonna buy. So
okay, Colin Delaney, get your shit straight. Second of all, they sell new figures, not old Jack's figures. So
Colin Delaney,
get your shit straight.
How much money would I spend for that callback?
I'd buy that for $1.
So yeah, follow these guys in all their other endeavors. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We go live every Thursday, mostly, which is why it's important to hit the bell. So you're notified when we go live. If you watched live, thank you. If you're watching on a replay, also thank you, but at a later time. So for Richie, for JBO, for Chaz, I have been Jacob. This is The Lonely Marks. We will see you next time.